chilling. Let's see. We're chilling. We got our bowl of chips. Sleep. Trying to do like a cozy thing. Yeah, we're gonna smoke one. We're gonna smoke one. I just want to try a piece of this meat. It's really good. Let's see. Before we start with this, should we listen to? Start off light.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bro, that doesn't look very fresh.
Yo, what's going on, guys? FaZe Rug here, and today I'm bringing you guys a brand new What the heck? Mom!
Yes.
Are you expecting anyone right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
What's up, man?
Brendan,
What's going on, man?
What are you doing here?
I heard you were filming a video. I needed to get my clout game up, you know?
Bro, what the heck? Okay, I mean, I guess we got a special guest, Brendan, joining
What's
us for
up?
today's video.
What are we filming?
Dude, I was about to head over to Chuck E. Cheese.
Why would you go to Chuck E. Cheese? Aren't you 20-something years old?
Yeah, but you didn't hear about the conspiracy theory of like them scamming kids and the recycled pizza?
What? They're scamming kids?
Dude, you didn't watch Shane
Watch
Dawson's
out.
video?
I didn't have an hour and 45 minutes to sit down, you know what I mean?
Dude, what? Okay, well, we're gonna head over there right now. I can explain everything in the car.
But what do you mean they're
This is really
scamming
funny.
kids?
Dude, I can't believe you haven't heard about this. Dude, let's just head over there.
Alright.
We have to go.
I've never really like heard about this until recently.
Strada, Sport, Corsa, Sabia, Terra? Which one do you think?
I think it doesn't really matter, and I also think Chuck E. Cheese closes in an hour, and my phone's at 1%, so can I use my light to turn off now?
Go ahead, turn it off, but I just
Aight.
want a sick montage.
We got a sig montage, my friend.
Alright, we'll go.
Let's go.
We'll go.
Sick montage.
So we just pulled up to Chuck E. Cheese. A worker already saw us with the camera. I don't know if after the whole Shane Dawson thing came out, if like they're being strict on filming and like making sure like you have to come with kids. Like no, all I know is that this is a giant ass camera and he was like sticking it out the window. Yeah, so I don't know what he could have been looking at, but he could either right now be alerting people like, hey, people with cameras are trying to come in, or he was just like, yo, there was a sick Lambo in the parking lot. So I don't know, but we're gonna go see.
What even is this conspiracy theory that you're talking about?
All right, so what is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. We are here in the parking lot of Chuck E. Cheese, and why we are here is to test out a conspiracy theory by Shane Dawson. And if you guys missed that video, basically the conspiracy is that Chuck E. Cheese is scamming kids by teaching them how to gamble at a young age and recycling pizza.
Wait, what do you mean they're recycling pizza?
Like, you didn't hear about it for real?
No, I mean, I saw something on Twitter, but I didn't read what into it.
So if you look at pictures, we're gonna put some up on the screen right now. So they basically use used pizza from other people's tables and they put it into one pizza.
No, those pepperonis don't even line up.
Wait, I don't know if
dude, it's so weird. I'm sure, Rugrats, let me know if you guys saw Shane Dawson's video. We're basically here to test it out, to see with our own eyes. Do they recycle the pizza?
This is weird.
Wait, if they do, are we gonna still eat it?
Shoot,
I mean,
I don't know about you, but Chuck E. Cheese pizza
good.
is my favorite pizza ever.
Yo,
It tastes so
crazy.
good.
This doesn't match up at all.
It's so weird.
It doesn't match up at all. That's so weird.
After I saw the video, my childhood was ruined, first off. And second, like...
Wait, but how did this go? How did this go under the radar for this long? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Because Chuck E. Cheese has been around for, I don't know how long. I remember being a little kid, and that was like 10 years ago.
And I just
15
love
years
the
ago.
pizza.
How many adults like go and make videos at Chuck E. Cheese though? Like
None.
No.
That's a
Okay,
thing.
are we even allowed to go into Chuck E. Cheese is the question.
I feel like you need a kid to get in.
I
Like,
don't
that's what I
know.
always thought.
Again, all I know is that there was a worker that saw us, and he either is alerting everyone in there. I don't know, but
Okay.
we're gonna try to make it in. We could go to just eat, right? Like it's kind of like a restaurant too.
Kind of, but
In
a
a way.
restaurant for kids. I mean, I guess if worst comes to, I mean, I feel like we'll be fine. The scariest part is bringing the camera in because
Yeah.
it's a place full of kids.
True.
I don't want them to think some weird things that we're trying to film kids or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I know what
So
you
I think
mean.
we gotta go in super low key, like put the camera in a backpack. Don't film us walking in. We'll film when we're in there. You know what I mean?
No, for
That's
sure.
our best bet.
So okay, so the whole point of this video is we're just gonna see if it's a perfect circle.
Right. We're gonna try to debunk this basically.
Yeah, and
And then we're gonna eat it.
yeah, no, I mean,
Regardless, we're eating it.
I don't care if it's recycled. I'm eating that pizza.
Yeah,
It's
but
good.
my question is, because I remember going as a kid, the pizza was always like fresh. If it was recycled, how is it fresh?
Because they put more cheese on top and then rebake it. So
Yeah,
like,
put it back in the oven.
Make it look
Yeah.
fresh. Shoot, if they did that, that's a scam.
Dude, okay, well, I was gonna say this. Do you think, obviously, like, there's rumors going around that Chuck E. Cheese is suing Shane Dawson?
Oh, shoot, are they?
Yeah, so, like, I'm thinking that obviously every Chuck E. Cheese location is alerted and, like, they know about the video. So I'm thinking they're obviously changing the way they're making pizza and making sure that it's a perfect circle.
Maybe.
So I feel like we might be a little too late to actually catch the
yeah,
recycled
but we
pizza.
are like out of that area that
Right.
video was filmed.
I feel like if they would, it'd be in like the LA area.
Yeah,
You
like
think
they-
so?
We're in San Diego. Like, do you think they really? I mean,
I'm just thinking that every Chuck E. Cheese location, like there could be people in like New York that like saw the Shane Dawson video and wanted to test it. I don't know. We're gonna find out for ourselves, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think is gonna go down in there. Are we gonna get kicked out right away? Are
It's
we
gonna
not
be
gonna be able to go in? Is the
It's
pizza gonna be
gonna be
recycled? Like I don't know what's gonna happen.
find out.
All I know is that the parking lot was dead.
it
Like,
was dead. It didn't look like there was that many people in there
Yeah.
when we drove by.
For real. And I just want to say this, everything we say in this video is just our opinion.
Yes.
Like we just want to clear that up. We're not trying to like hurt Chuck E. Cheese at all. We just want to see for ourselves if it's true or not.
And if anyone's from Chuck E. Cheese watching this, just know like you're getting a lot of clout from this. So
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly. Your
you're
name's
paying.
getting out there.
You're paying, Rock
So,
Band.
okay, we're gonna head in right now, and I hope you guys enjoy.
I'm nervous, man.
I'm nervous. Hi. Okay, what sort of pizza should we get? Pepperoni.
No, he had seen you guys, and then we were like, no, and then he's like, yeah.
And then we'll do another large half pepperoni. Yeah, with a half pepperoni, half cheese. Okay, thank you.
Yo, low-key, the manager just went over to the cook and said, take it. Like, I heard him mouth it to it.
Yo, we gotta tell Rug. Yo, let's talk about it when we sit down. All the ladies scream when Rug comes around. You know what I mean?
And he says he
Goals.
was hated.
Jeez, I'm the hated one here. You know?
Hey, what's up? Thank you so much.
See how nice he is to his fans? Wow, you guys should definitely hit the subscribe button.
So many fans here at Chuck E. Cheese. Like, so down. Like,
Hey, are you gonna give my boy some free pizza or what?
Never mind.
They ain't that big of fans, bro.
Yo, nothing's creepy, bro.
Yo, there's something up with that. Like new conspiracy, I don't know, there's just something up with it.
So basically, when they saw that you were in here and such, the manager, the guy that was standing over there went up to the chef and said, okay, make sure you cook their pizza good.
I saw that.
Like,
Saw that?
So, which makes me think that they were gonna not cook it good if we were just.
Yeah, and then what did the pizza guy say to you when he said, this is the
I'm
guy?
gonna cook your pizza.
He said, I'm gonna cook it 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Bro, they're good. So they're actually gonna cook it fresh for us.
Let's wait till the pizza comes. Let's do the review.
Because I know damn well the pizza's gonna come perfect circle,
Yeah.
freshly made, non-recycled. But then who knows for like other people that came in that like they didn't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Because the chef did come
You know
out
what
and say, I'm
would
gonna
be
cook.
interesting theory is if we have someone order a pizza right after us, like we pay some girl, order a pizza, we don't finish all the pizza, but we make like a marking underneath the pizza, and we see.
I don't know, dude. That's trippy. Like,
Imagine we put a little pen mark underneath, and then the next person orders it, and then the pen mark. We would ruin Chuck E. Cheese altogether forever.
yeah, I don't want to get sued. Hi, how are you?
Sit down with us. How are you?
Good. Brandon?
Who's Brandon? Hey, Brandon.
That's my boyfriend.
Oh, okay. We have a real question for you. All right. I don't know if he wants to hear this, but we heard this little theory about the pizza.
Oh yeah, I know.
Is there anything you can shed some light on?
It's not real. I swear to you. I promise I would not like. At least I'm not at this. Or at least at this one. The location. But do you believe that maybe at other locations it?
When I saw Shane's video, I was like, oh well, the pizzas do look weird. But then I thought like they could have put it together, or they looked for the worst pizza looking ones. But no, here like I've been watching the pizzas, no, they're fine, and I'm always in the kitchen.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely good to hear. We wanted to check up on that. You know?
Yeah.
Cool,
Well, I
thank
hope
you.
we don't get our pizza looking all weirdly, you know?
I'm bringing it, so I'll make sure.
Okay.
I heard that, like I saw the video, I was like, wow. Yeah, like I know we do like throw away pizzas in front of like people and like they think that, but it's trash, bro. We just throw them away, you know? Like yeah, we don't do that stuff. That's nasty.
Yeah. I feel you. Hey, nice to meet you, bro.
All right. This is what I think. Okay. From this whole situation, I feel like they were all like scripted. Like they have to say.
Yeah, dude, it's like right when you bring up, oh, the recycled
Immediately,
pizza.
it's like-
No, we don't do it.
Like it seems very sus, a little too good to be true. Like they're all talking in the back. Like it's just very like.
They're obviously not gonna say anything to us because they know about the camera, they know we're making a video. Don't get me wrong, super nice people, but obviously they're gonna cover Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, they work here. They have to.
Yeah,
the
they
pizza's
have to.
coming right now. So we're gonna see for them.
Oh my god, the pizza's here.
And it's a circle.
This looks really good.
I'm actually super excited.
Wow, I'm really excited. Thank you guys so much.
So
Thank
wait, really quick question. How many different pizzas did it take to make this one?
Okay, so
That was a quick answer, you know?
a quick answer. Hey, it looks fire.
It looks so
Oh
good.
my god. All right, so we just got our pizzas and they look
I mean,
delicious.
The pepperoni one looks pretty normal, like a normal perfect pizza.
It looks perfect.
This one, on the other hand, we gotta talk about.
It took us, we took about like 5-10 minutes to actually look into it, and as you can see, like these pieces don't match.
They don't match.
At all.
Like, look at the pizza goes around and then it just goes in. Why would that, for two pieces, why would that be so? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, how do you shape dough to look like that?
And so another thing that I observed was that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pepperoni slices compared to 4 cheese.
And we specifically asked for half pepperoni,
Yeah.
half cheese. And I don't know if the person in the back is a mathematician or anything, but clearly,
But don't get me wrong, it smells good. It's just that this part right here is like just sketching me out.
Kind of just doesn't line up right here.
that's what we're talking about. It doesn't line up. Like, why would two pieces only not line up? Doesn't make any sense. I mean, the bottoms of them all look the same though. I mean, this one actually is a little bit more brown compared to like these two. They're kind of the same though.
Yeah, they're kind of the same. So another thing that I noticed is that everyone here knew who we were, which is pretty dope, but
Wait, do you notice that the music keeps getting louder and louder? Like they don't want us to make this video. I'm telling you, man. Look at now they're
Well,
turning this
there's-
on. Bro, they just turned
yo,
this on.
there's no party going on.
And I might get in trouble because our district manager called.
But they're noticing that we're trying to make a video and they're making this louder so we don't talk about it.
Oh, we're onto something here, man.
I don't know. This is really sketching me out. Obviously, since they know who we are and they know we're making a video of some sort, they're gonna make the pizza good. The chef even said himself, I'm gonna make this 10 out of 10 for you guys. They obviously all know about the Shane Dawson video. It's like they're scripted. Like they know, or they were told what to tell
What I can think
people.
about is like usually when a company has has like a controversy or something, they send out like a Newsweek letter basically telling everyone this is what you have to say when something happens like this. So what if like the Chuck E. Cheese Corporation sent out an email saying, everyone, when anyone asks about the pizza, you say no, this is fresh pizza, I've never seen it, blah, 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 blah. It could be
Without a doubt, like I think that's what they did, for sure, because like, I don't know.
But what I want to know is like, what does the audience think? What do you guys think? You guys probably have seen Shane's video. Do you think that they recycle pizza, or do you think it's all fresh?
Please let us know, and let us know if you think they just made it fresh only because they knew who we were and they saw a giant camera. Because let's say we were some random people without a camera and we just came to have some pizza. Who knows? I don't know. Just how like, for example, when I go to like worst reviewed places and they see a camera, obviously they're gonna make the service 10 times like better than they usually are. But I think now we should just taste the pizza.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited.
I'm really excited. So, all right, here we go. Ready? Taste test. Oh my God.
Just like I remembered.
I love Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
How does, but like, let me see. Let me taste one more bite so I can really tell.
Does it taste recycled?
I mean, it tastes pretty fresh to me though. But like we said, we have a big camera. We walked in here.
It's gonna be fresh.
If they even dared to give us pizza, they wouldn't, because they know how big of audiences we have. Like they're not gonna.
Yeah, see, that kind of just ruins it.
I feel like if we came in here and they didn't recognize us, then it would be so much easier.
100%. I think that's my opinion. That's his opinion. Do you guys think that as well? Like, just because they saw the camera and stuff, they're gonna make it fresh? I think so. Comment down below right now, or give this video a giant thumbs up if they hit 200,000 likes. 200,000 likes. We will come back here in disguises.
Full-on disguises.
Full-on disguises with like glasses that have cameras in them. Oh my God. So we are back from Chuck E. Cheese. What an experience.
Dude, tonight was crazy, man. Like, I did not expect that we were gonna get any of the footage that we got.
Dude, like, that was actually some A1 footage. Like, I think the weirdest part is, like, the girl coming back and saying, hey, like, we're not allowed to answer any questions.
Chuck E. Cheese, 45 minutes away from where we are right now.
Yeah, it was pretty far. So, guys, we're gonna wrap up the video there. I hope you guys did enjoy. Like we said, 200,000 likes.
Develop. Goals.
Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. As you can see, we are here at Disneyland, the happiest place on earth. And I'm so nervous doing this intro because there's like thousands of people around me right now. And I don't care if I'm still a YouTuber, but I still get nervous recording in front of a lot of people. But today we are at Disneyland and we are about to do a fun, lit vlog where we go around reviewing the best reviewed and worst reviewed restaurants here at the park. By the way, it might be pretty loud now because there's a band performing right in front of there, but they made Disneyland Christmas themed because it's almost Christmas, so I'm pretty hyped about that. But I haven't been to Disneyland in forever. If you guys love the park, smash that like button, subscribe if you are new. And I forgot to mention, I have a special guest here that I brought here for my first ever date 3 years ago. Can you guys guess who it is? Whoa!
Hi.
Kaylin, what's up?
Nothing, what's up?
Nothing much. Like, you want to go try some food?
Yeah, I'm down. I'm so hungry and it's the happiest place on earth.
Are you happy right now?
Pretty happy.
I'm pretty happy, guys. I hope you're all happy watching this video. But we are about to go to the worst reviewed restaurant here at Disneyland. And in between, we're going to go on like rides and have some fun. So this is about to be lit. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get right into it. By the way, guys, it's not my birthday, but it is tomorrow, November 19th. So, you know, don't forget to wish me a happy birthday on social media. I might follow you guys or something. And also, look at this. Oh, Rug. That's my name. They didn't let me do Phase Rug for some reason. They said it's like copyright issues, but like I'm Phase Rug. But they allowed Rug, so it's still lit. So we're about to go to the worst reviewed restaurant in Disneyland. I haven't eaten all day. We're gonna read some reviews, try it out, and then head to the best review. There we go. Nice to meet you, bro. Thank you. You're meeting fans at Disney. Let's go. What's going on over here? There's a horse.
Hi,
Hello. Nay.
Nay.
Nay. Nay. All right, bye. We'll see you later. We'll see you later, dog. Hey, there we go. Nice to meet you. Dude, have you guys ever been to Disneyland? Because if you haven't seen the castle in person, it looks crazy. Like, it actually looks unreal, right? Doesn't it look fake?
Yeah, can I live there?
Wait, is it an actual house? Like, you go in?
Yeah, Brian.
No, I'm serious.
No.
Oh. I thought we could do like a tour for the Rugrats or something. All right.
I hear your voice on my TV all day long.
You can.
Thank you guys.
You can
Have
go
a
there.
great day. Like, would that annoy people that they hear my voice on their TV every day? Because my voice is annoying. In my opinion, I think my voice is annoying. What about you? Like,
No, you have a nice voice.
like when we dated, like, were you like, just shut up, man? Like,
No, your voice is kind of soothing. Like, it's like, I could listen to it.
all right, yo, we've been trying to find the worst reviewed restaurant. It's in this area. It's in, what is this called? Galactic Land. The first place that we're going to is called Galactic Grill. Everyone's compared it to gas station burgers like AM, PM, and 7-Eleven. I've never had a burger from a gas station for many reasons, but also like I read that people have gotten sick after, so I don't know if this is the best move to do when this is our first meal of the day. All right, we're gonna find it. We're gonna order a burger or whatever you guys want to order. We're gonna review it for you guys. I don't know why you guys love my food review videos so much, so I figured I did every one in San Diego. Why not try Disneyland? All right, we found it. Galactic Grill. Let's see their menu actually. I've only heard bad talk about the burgers. Oh, there's the kids' meals, so toddler meal. That's for me. Especially with this hat on, I look like a little kid. Okay, the regular stuff right here. Specialty burger, chicken sandwich, veggie wrap, salad. I'm gonna ask him what the least popular thing is on the menu, and I'm just gonna order that. Kaylin's gonna get the burger, and what are you gonna get? Salad?
Salad.
Wow, healthy?
Healthy
That's
guy.
probably gonna be the least popular thing. No one's gonna eat a salad.
I am.
I don't know if I want to get soda though, because like amusement park soda just hits different. Like I don't know why, it just tastes better. They put something in there so you can get more. Or the apple pie slush.
Ew.
Apple pie slush? Bro, guys, I'm just saying we waited in this line for like 10 minutes. There's only one person in front of us. I know this is like super random, but what's like the least popular thing on the menu? Because that's what I want to try.
The least popular thing on the menu? Yeah, probably specialty burger.
Specialty burger?
Yeah.
That's a new one?
Yeah, well, we changed the recipe, so yeah, it's pretty new.
Oh, okay, okay. I'll try that.
With fries or yogurt?
Fries, please.
Okay.
Well, since you're getting that, I'm gonna get the chicken tender.
Chicken tenders, the kids are adult.
The kids is fine.
All right, and then what you want for the drink on the kids?
Can I do a Coke?
A Coke? Okay. What else?
Chopped salad.
Chopped salad? Okay, what else?
Yeah, 3 waters.
3 waters? Water cups or water bottles?
Water bottles.
All right, cool. All right, cool. We have the specialty burger, side of fries, the kids' chicken tenders with apples and fries and a Coke, and the chopped salad and 3 water bottles. Yeah. Okay, it's gonna be 48, 42. All right, you go ahead and swipe right there for me. I'm gonna grab everything.
That's fake.
Pardon me. Bro, the people in line in front of us, we didn't get to order there because they waited until their food came.
It might just already be ready.
Right, okay. Brian, whenever it's ready, actually it's right here.
Oh, that's all of it?
Let's see, specialty burger, yeah. We gotta get you your kid's Coke. It's actually right here. Okay.
Oh, wow.
You guys go.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You got it?
I got it, guys. I work out now. So it's pre-made, right?
Yeah.
Or do they just make a lot at once because it's like a non-stop customers? I don't know.
It literally came in seconds.
Bro, he's like, I'm gonna call your name when it's ready. Oh, wait, it's ready. Oh. All right, we got the salad, the chicken tenders, the fries, and the specialty burger. I'm not gonna lie, like this looks like something you'd get at school.
This bomb.
Not hating on school food, but I just didn't eat it. But okay, so here's my burger. Let's check it out. Kaylin, grab your chicken tenders and fries. Noah, good choice, honestly. Like,
Thank you, man.
I'm proud of you. So we got the burger here. It has onion rings, bacon, provolone cheese. And yeah, that's it.
And sauce.
Sauce. I think that's barbecue sauce, right?
It said secret sauce, though.
Uh-oh. Okay, should I give it a go?
Yeah, go
All
for
right,
it.
we gotta take ranch with that. Here we go. First meal of the day. A worst reviewed burger at Disneyland, though. Hey, even the worst reviewed food at Disneyland, it might be good.
Probably still.
Napkin.
Okay. Let me get napkin.
It's not bad. It's just, I can see why people say it tastes like gas station food.
I mean, it was made in seconds.
That's the thing, like gas station food's already made and it's just warmed up. Yeah, I'm being honest, I'm not a huge fan of the burgers. What about you?
I didn't try mine yet, but let's go for it. Guys, I got some chicken tenders with fries. Basic. It came with apples because it was a kid's meal.
Ooh, healthy.
We can share. Let's test it out.
Don't be nice because you love Disneyland.
It tastes like chicken tender from anywhere.
I feel like, yeah, chicken tenders taste the same all around the world.
Yeah, can't complain. It's pretty good.
Do you want to try my burger real quick?
Yeah.
Be honest, too. We have different
Sure,
taste
fine.
buds. You could like it.
I was gonna say, you know I like burgers with bacon and stuff on it, but it's not the best burger I have, but I can't complain. It's food, you know?
Food is food. As I say in all my food videos that everyone comments 24/7, food is food. Food is food. You can't complain. But it is true, though. You just can't complain.
They do have paper straws, you know, like environmental friendly.
Yes. 10 out of 10, Disneyland. Yeah, for sure.
We're here at Disneyland and my kids don't care about the characters, but they're like, we have to get a picture with this guy.
No way.
So they're like, I'm like, how did you spot him out?
Let's
So he's
go.
like really
That's
excited.
awesome.
So
What's your guys' name?
well,
There we
thank
go.
you so
Nice
much.
to meet
I
you guys.
appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Have a good day, guys.
Started off here by opening this because I have to eat it with this.
Was that dressing?
I don't know what this is. It smells like it's ranch and like tomato or like
Thousand
ketchup.
Island.
It's Thousand
Okay, Noah. Ooh, I'm a cameraman again.
Oh, it looks weird. I'm telling you. it
Wait,
looks
that
weird.
actually looks pretty weird.
It's like red, right? It smells like ketchup. Well, I'm just gonna get a healthy bite and mix it up a bit, you know? It is a salad, you know, I gotta stay healthy.
Yeah, of course. Honestly, even if it doesn't taste good, just know it's good,
Good
for
for
you.
me, by the way. Hope you guys like the hat. I just graduated. Here we go.
I should have got the salad, man.
That was bomb.
Wait, really? It's good?
That was really good.
Okay.
You can't mess up a salad. Again, chicken tenders, you can kind of mess up by like maybe burning it. This is like literally leaves.
We just finished our meals. I finished Kaylin's kids' meal drink.
I thought there was still stuff.
I give the soda an 11 out of 10. That is like the greatest soda I've ever had. The food, on the other hand, I'm not complaining. Okay, I don't complain. no, but okay, on the real, like the burger, I can see where people would compare it to gas station burgers, but it's just not for me. Like, I wouldn't even order a burger if I were to come here. So I give my meal 4 out of 10.
Okay.
That's reasonable. 4 out of 10. Not hating.
4 out of 10.
Okay, just go.
My chicken tenders, they're pretty good. Like, can't complain. They're chicken tenders, you can't mess them up really. But
What?
I guess
What?
like it's like a 7.
Why?
It just tastes like chicken tenders. Like nothing wrong with
So
them.
you don't like chicken tenders? You just, any chicken tender you eat, you've given a 7?
Yeah, like they all kind of taste the same.
Sorry, I'm so happy to be here. The salad was insane. It's not bad. Definitely not bad. So I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Ooh,
A
okay.
little 0.5 in there. But yeah, not bad.
Highest rating goes to
The salad!
the salad. Woo! Disneyland, happiest place on earth. I'm so happy. Like, I just don't get like why they clickbait like that.
Wait, let me see.
Go ahead, try it. It's not just me.
Oh!
Whoa,
Cheater.
that's cheating.
Cheater.
I swore where it said tear here.
I didn't say bite here, it said
I
tear.
swore it with my teeth.
All right, guys, now that we finished the first worst reviewed restaurant, it's time to go have some fun. It's the best idea to have the teacups as the first ride after eating a bad meal. Hey, it's our first ride of the day. Let's get hype. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm so excited.
I might throw up after, I might not, I don't know, but I can't do spinning rides. Like, I get nauseous so easily, but we got the teacups, baby.
Here. Pause this. Put this back. I'm gonna make some tea. It's brewing.
I get nauseous so easily, so please just don't spin it that much.
Oh, I'm gonna spin it.
No, bro, come on.
I'm spinning it really fast.
Imagine eating like a burger that's like not the best, and it's sitting right here, and you go on the teacup.
I'm scared.
I'm gonna stop it. I'm stronger than you. I'll just hold it. Alright guys, so we are in line right now for the Haunted Mansion, one of my favorite rides at Disneyland. But we've been here for about like, what, 3-4 hours?
Yeah.
I'm having a good time so far. I don't know, you can't give Disneyland itself a bad rating.
No, never.
So the main part of this video is just the food, but we're having fun now. We're about to ride Haunted Mansion, then we're gonna go get some dessert. We're gonna review the dessert, of course. They have some creative, cool desserts here, and then I think it'll be time for the best review. I think we deserve it.
Yeah, Ryan, I just want to tell you, thank you so much for bringing me.
You're welcome.
It's been
There's a
fun.
lot of people looking. There's a lot of people looking. I'm nervous. Guys, the cool thing about Disneyland is every different area you enter, it feels like you're in a different world. Like right now we're in Star Wars land, and like it doesn't even look like we're on planet Earth, right? I think Star Wars land is new at Disneyland. Guys, I hope you have been enjoying this vlog. I haven't been to Disneyland in years, and I've never filmed here, so this is like a first hype. I'm having a good time with Kaylin and Noah. Yay! Woo! All right, guys. We found the best rated dessert place in Disneyland. They have a bunch of like holiday desserts too to get in the spirit.
I keep it in your house for it.
Know what you want?
No, I need to see it.
They have like cookies, cakes, gingerbread houses. We eat a gingerbread house. Gingerbread man, ice cream, cupcakes probably. I don't know. We'll see when we get up to the front. There's a little parade going on. This really is the happiest place on earth, man. Okay, we got the gingerbread man. We gotta hurry up. Ready? Amazing.
Yeah?
Amazing. I haven't had a gingerbread man before. That was a Squidward bite right there. Why'd you eat it like that?
What do you have?
I have a little cupcake that's like a Christmas tree, I think. Nice decorations, okay. This is gonna be messy.
How's it?
This is good.
What does it taste like? Peppermint?
No, try it.
No, I don't like cupcakes.
I have to try yours. You try mine.
Fine.
There's stuff inside of it.
That tastes so good. Wait, that actually tastes so good.
I told you.
Did you see the inside?
Yeah, I think it's like M&M's or something.
That's sick. Noah?
It's a Santa hat macaroon with like chocolate filling.
Wow, that looks crazy.
I'm gonna have to take a big bite of this.
Actually, how is that?
Hard right here, soft on the inside. It's like a better Oreo.
Honestly, from me, dessert 10 out of 10. You can't mess up dessert, so.
Super good, 10 out of 10. Right?
10 out of 10, 100%.
All right, we're here at the best reviewed restaurant. We had our fun the whole day. It's
Yeah.
about 5 p.m., almost dinner time. It's time for the moment of truth. Best reviewed restaurant. I'm super excited. I'm super hungry because the gingerbread man didn't really fill me up.
No, definitely not.
We are here at this Italian restaurant. I haven't seen one bad review about it. You ready for this?
I'm excited. It looks pretty good.
The
and
thing
it
is,
smells
like,
good.
you know the restaurant's gonna be good when it's in like a different language and you don't know what it means. Like, that's how you know the food is authentic and it's good and it's in Disneyland and we're lit. So let's go, baby.
Start you off with some drinks, maybe?
So guys, so far the service is like really good, extremely good. And usually like at these like best reviewed restaurants when we go, let's say I'll meet fans and then like the owner, like the coworkers would like notice it and then they'll act like extra nice. But so far they've been treating us extremely well, and it's good to know that it's not because like they know who I am. So that means they treat every customer the same. So that's awesome. Wow, that looks crazy. Ooh, I've never tried calamari. So it's fried squid, right? Listen, man, I'm not a squid guy. Wow, I never eat squid or calamari. It's actually good. Please try it.
I really can't. I swear.
Do you trust me?
I trust you, but like I really can't.
See, the thing is, you can do it though.
I can't.
It's not impossible. You can do it.
It's fine. There's some people that literally just don't like seafood.
Yeah.
That's completely fine. This is really good. Noah? For me, dessert, 10 out of 10. You can't mess up dessert, so.
Super good. 10 out of 10 right
10 out of 10, 100%.
All right, we're here at the best reviewed restaurant. We had our fun the whole day. It's about 5 p.m., almost dinner time. It's time for the moment of truth. Best reviewed restaurant. I'm super excited. I'm super hungry because the gingerbread man didn't really fill me up.
No, definitely not.
We are here at this Italian restaurant. I haven't seen one bad review about it. You ready for this?
I'm excited. It looks pretty good.
The thing is, like, you know the restaurant's gonna be good when it's in like a different language and you don't know what it means. Like, that's how you know the food is authentic and it's good and it's in Disneyland and we're lit. So let's go, baby.
Start you off with some drinks, maybe?
So guys,
Somebody
so far,
might
the
interpret
service
that the
is like
wrong
really, really good, extremely good. And usually, like at these like best reviewed restaurants when we go, let's say I'll meet fans, and then like the owner, like the coworkers would like notice it, and then they'll act like extra nice. But so far, they've been treating us extremely well, and it's good to know that it's not because like they know who I am. So that means they treat every customer the same. So that's awesome. Wow, that looks crazy. Ooh, I've never tried calamari. So it's fried squid, right? Listen, man, I'm not a squid guy.
Good.
Wow, I never eat squid or calamari. It's actually good. Please try it.
I really can't. I swear.
Do you trust me?
I trust you, but like I really can't.
See, the thing is, you can do it though.
I can't.
It's not impossible. You can do it.
It's fine. There's some people that literally just don't like seafood.
Yeah.
That's completely fine. This is really good. Noah?
Oh my.
Go for it, man.
Great. I love calamari.
All right, next appetizer. We had to get 2. We're trying to go all out for the video, but this is like fried pizza dough, I think, with like mozzarella inside and then marinara sauce on the side. This has to be crazy. Like, there's no way this is not good.
This I
Yeah.
What do you thought of that calamari? I know you tasted it.
It was actually pretty good. I liked it, yeah. It was good. Ooh, look inside, look inside. That looks crazy.
This is bomb. This is so good.
So out of 10?
I would say a 10.
10.
10 all around?
And I'm pretty harsh. Okay guys, so we were just eating our appetizer and then they brought out another one saying they accidentally made 2 and they didn't want to throw it away, so they gave it to us. So we're just gonna take
So
that to go.
dope.
Bro, this is crazy. Like, I've been to a lot of 5-star restaurants, but this service so far, and I'm not. Is our food already here?
Wow.
Oh, let's go.
Right here.
Wow, that was so fast too. Ooh, that looks good.
Smells so good.
The smell. Imagine I just knocked this down. I'm hyped, dude. I've had so much Italian food, but we're about to test this one out right now. You guys might think to yourselves, like, bro, this looks like regular Italian food, but it's time for the moment of truth.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get a good forkful. Ready? 3, 2.
The square one is the family size, the large is now.
This is some bomb spaghetti, guys.
They're so good. They're actually really good.
I got a shell pasta with
There's like mussels.
mussels, not these, but these.
So we got shell pasta. Okay. Beyond this Sully shrimp. Dude,
The pasta's good, but the sauce is better. The sauce is really, really good.
Ooh.
Reviews after?
Reviews after.
Got a cheesecake
What?
right here.
For me?
For the birthday boy right here.
Wow. Thank you so much. You didn't have to.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brian.
Or Mazra.
Happy birthday to you.
Woo! Oh. I didn't make a wish. Final review of this place. I'm gonna go 9.5. So I give a 9.5 out of 10.
I give a 9.
Noah, flip the camera to you.
I'm gonna have to give it an 8.5. Not bad though.
Yeah. We don't want to give like full on 10, 10, 10, like, you know, like it was still really good, but 9.5 is high in my books.
Yeah, 9 is solid. Food was good, service was great.
And to top it off, we get a birthday hat. Let's go. Thank you. Is it done?
No way.
No way. Oh my god. Wait. So I put it on like this?
Yeah.
How do I look? Okay, why are you laughing? She's laughing.
Because you look great. Yeah, you look good. Like, so smiling. You look good.
Are you guys laughing? Wait. Okay, I really like it. I want to. Wait, can someone take a picture of me? Alright, guys. That is going to wrap up today's video. I hope you all did enjoy worst reviewed versus best reviewed food at Disneyland. I had a great time. Not only reviewing the food, but just having a fun time with my friends.
Yeah, this was great, Brian. Thank you for bringing me.
Yeah, thank you for bringing me too.
Of course, Disneyland is the best place in the world, the happiest place in the world. So if you guys haven't gone, definitely go. You'll make some nice memories there. Yeah, if you want to see more videos like this, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. And other than that, it's been Rug,
Kaylin,
and we're out. Peace.
New Dead Rabbit Radio out. I guess let's fucking hear it.
On January 6, 2022, the European Space Agency spotted an asteroid that was going to collide with Earth next year. So how come you haven't heard about it? And then we meet a married man who one day is scrolling through Tinder profiles. He's looking for a little side action. Instead, he finds a demon who wants his soul. Today on Dead Rabbit Radio. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Dead Rabbit Radio. I'm your host, Jason Carpenter. I'm having a great...
I just want to check the audios. Alright, that's fine.
Hey, I hope you guys are having a great day too. Hope you guys are having tons of fun, staying alive. I hope you're alive. Hope you're not listening to this podcast as your final moments as a pack of dogs are chewing at you. That was grim. When I started off so dark, coming into Dead Rabbit Command right now to lighten up the mood is one of our Thanksgiving live stream contributors. Give it up for Charlene. Woo! Come on in, Charlene. Yeah, get these dogs off of us. Beat them away with a stick. Charlene, you're going to be our captain, our pilot this episode. If you guys can't support the Patreon, I totally get it. Just help spread the word about the show. That really, really helps out a lot. If you can't support the show financially, support it with your mouth. That sounded weird. Just tell people about the show. Say, hey, Dead Rabbit Radio. If you want to listen to a podcast where he threatens you with dog attacks, Dead Rabbit Radio is the place to be. Charlene, let's go ahead and toss you the keys to the Dead Rabbit rocket ship. We're going to leave behind Dead Rabbit Command and we're going to fly all the way out to orbit around planet Earth. We are fighting off those G-forces, and now we're floating around in zero gravity in our rocket. You know what? It's interesting. One of the things I've learned doing this show, I've always been a conspiracy theorist. I've always been into the paranormal since I was about 12. I've been researching this stuff. But working on this show, I've started to realize something. I'm shocked by what the conspiracy community doesn't talk about. I find it so odd. Right now there's this big thing going around. There's like a photo of a black woman at the UN, and she's looking down, and it's not a high resolution photo. She's like looking down, she has her hand raised, and people think
This
that
is
it's
like
a
a really
space
cool
alien.
one. Let me see if I can...
This is all over the internet. I'll put a link in the show note. I don't know how I can describe it any better than that. The photo looks weird, but once you look at it, you go, oh, I see, like, it's a blurry resolution. Here's her eye. She's looking down. She's wearing a black face mask. She has this hairdo.
It's a weird photo.
And it looks like Greedo, right? It looks like Greedo is in the United Nations, but when you get another version of the page, this is, I mean, you look at it for about a minute and you go, that's not a space alien. It's not a space alien. I thought it would be weird if a space alien showed up to the United Nations that didn't tell anyone. It's just a really bad resolution photo. And you can go to the YouTube link and click on it, and like I think it's like 7 minutes in or something like that. But anyways, you see it, and it's weird. It is weird looking, but it's a human. You can look at it from any other angle, and so that's going around right now. That's been a big news story past 24 hours. I'm recording this episode on Tuesday. And I remember the one time when Biden was a hologram, or everything else was a hologram, and Biden was walking through the hologram, and the reporters looked tiny. You're like, Jason, what in the world are you talking about? No, I don't remember when a giant President Biden came walking by. I'll put that video in the show notes, too. That was the big talk of the town. People still, I saw someone recently talking about that. The implication is Joe Biden is, I guess the implication is Joe Biden's either a giant or the White House has the worst CGI team possible and they can't make him look normal. I think the implication is like he's running the country from like some green screen room or something like that. And I find it fascinating. I find all of these stories fascinating, and some of these things you look at for a minute or 3 minutes and then you go, oh wait, Joe Biden's not a giant, he's a normal sized person, and this is just a weird camera angle. And then this was totally what I'm about to tell you. I stumbled across. This story was completely slept on. No one was talking about this. Nobody. I can't believe this is not a main topic of conversation in the world of the conspiracy theory. On January 6th, 2022, asteroid 2022 AE1 was detected. So the European Space Agency has all of these telescopes aimed up at the sky, which is where a telescope should be aimed at unless you're a pervert. And they detected AE1 floating through space. Now, by the next day, all of these telescopes are running all of these algorithms, like how close is this going to get to Earth? The very next day, it's classified as potentially dangerous. The European Space Agency, they're looking at all this stuff, and they realize this is moving so quickly through space, there is no way it will swerve away from Earth. Sometimes when asteroids are coming, they get caught in the gravitational field of another planet, or of the sun, or of our moon, and it glides away peacefully. They were looking at this in January going, this will most likely hit Earth. We don't know where it's going to hit. We think it'll be somewhere in the equator region. So that's a lot of ocean, but also a lot of land. And the day it was supposed to impact, July 4th, 2023. Now, is this a civilization killer? No. But had it hit a populated area, it could have destroyed a city. And it's coming on our Independence Day. Did you hear any of this stuff? Asteroid, potentially dangerous. It's not going to move out of the way, and the European Space Agency is saying there's a very, very high chance it's going to hit Earth on July 4th, 2023. They're observing it very closely for that week in January. January 6th, it's discovered. Algorithm gets run, and now the scientists are looking at it each day. But there's this thing that happens in space. The moon floats around. Everything floats around, right? And as the telescopes are picking up on this asteroid, and it's pretty far off again, right? It's going to be about a year and a half before it hits us. The moon blocks our view of AE1. This story's 100% real. This story happened this year and no one's talking about it. The moon blocks our view of AE1 and the telescopes can't see it, and the scientists are like, well, you know, I mean, the moon's only going to be there, the moon's only going to be blocking it for about a day or two, but when the moon moves out of the way, and when the telescopes can once again catch AE1 and steady its trajectory, when the moon moves out of its way, it has changed course. It has zero chance of hitting the Earth now. None. It's been removed from potentially dangerous. And there you go. What in the world just happened? This is 100% a legit story. Now, the conspiracy theory side says alien. Right? This asteroid was coming towards Earth. Aliens directed it. They didn't want to be discovered directing it, so you can calculate all this stuff. You know where the moon's going to be. It's not a surprise, right? And as the Earth and the moon are in that endless cosmic dance, this alien ship, they're sitting there, they're tapping their little space watch. They're like, come on, come on, come on. We want to move this thing. It was headed towards Earth. It gets redirected. Now, that's the conspiracy theory side. Again, I can't believe nobody talked about this. The scientific side, they go, it happens. Right? They're just kind of, it's so weird. They don't really have an answer for it. They go, listen, here's the thing. Sometimes we see that asteroids are going to hit Earth, and then they don't. So that happens. On to the next one. That was, I sound like I'm being glib. That was a quote. On to the next one. He said, yeah, sometimes their calculations were not wrong. They're not saying their calculations were wrong. They're just going, sometimes weird stuff happens, right? Space is weird. And we have to constantly adjust things, but it's not going to hit. And I would accept that as a scientific reason. However, the fact that the moon blocked our view of this potentially dangerous asteroid, we don't know why it moved away.
It's weird.
Fascinating story. I'm not saying an alien at the UN isn't fascinating, or giant President Biden isn't fascinating, but it's so weird. This is what makes me think, like, there are elements in the conspiracy theory community who say this is acceptable to talk about because it's super, super distracting, and we won't even mention this. I can't believe this wasn't bigger news. I feel like a broken record that I keep saying that. And that's one of the things I love about doing this show. We cover 10 topics a week, and we discover stuff like this. And it's just so weird. I thought this would be bigger news. Originally, right, even that first week of January, people should have been talking about the Independence Day disaster, like in 2023, like all those doomsday predictions and stuff like that. Where were they?
True
and
that.
then that it just stopped threatening Earth when we couldn't see it. It moved out of the way. Fascinating. Fascinating. It's a fascinating story about how fragile life is on this planet. And it's fascinating that this story did not get a lot of play in the conspiracy theory community, either when it first happened or now. Because now it's getting out about, oh, you know, it got diverted. What is going on? Fine, let's look at more blurry photos of a UN meeting, because it can be fun, but you can easily go, that is a normal human photographed under really bad lighting conditions and really blurry resolution. Can we get, as the asteroid is hurtling towards Earth and a UFO is a tractor beam and it's like, come on, and throws it into the sun, everyone's looking down at their phone, looking at giant photos of President Biden. I do have to admit, I do love that conspiracy theory. But, dude, insane. Great story. And what caused that? Who knows? I did a story a long time ago. I'll put the episode in the show notes about Comet Elenin, which was another doomsday comet that was supposed to hit Earth. And I uncovered quite a bizarre conspiracy theory involving that one. I really liked that episode. We'll put that in the show notes. But.
I wonder.
Charlene, let's go ahead and toss you the keys to the Carpenter Copter. We got to go back to weighing. We got to go back to being under the forces of gravity like a bum. Let's hop in the Carpenter Copter. We're leaving behind space. We're headed all the way out to Houston, Texas. We land in Houston. We're walking around, taking in the sights and the sounds of the city. And we are here because there is a man known as Loose. Now, that's his profile name. I don't know if that's exactly how you pronounce it. Hey, Loose, what's up? Loose Goose? Lus? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Pronunciations are never my strong suit. He is posting on a forum that maybe some of you have been to. I highly doubt it. It's possible, though. My audience, I have a very, very diverse audience. It's a forum that I just discovered called Joy of Satan. These are Satan worshippers, but not like your classic Anton LaVey Satan worshippers. who use Satan as a stand-in for humanism, right? You know, it's just about the worship of self and being hedonistic and stuff like that. No, these guys, according to their website, actually worship Satan. Like, they acknowledge Satan as an entity, and he's like, soon you can also have a pitchfork and wear red tights and dance around in hell with me, Satan. And so I'm still parsing through a lot of their beliefs. I was kind of poking around on that. From what I've already read, it is as insane as you would think it would be. Loose here is posting on Joy of Satan's forum, and he tells this story. He goes, listen, I was raised as a Christian, but I was never really into the whole thing, which probably explains why I'm on a forum called Joy of Satan. But, you know, I was raised as a Christian, and parents are a Christian and stuff like that.
Forgot about my teeth.
He says that he can decode reality. He goes on this long-winded rant about breakfast, meaning breakfast. Whoa, dude, you're blowing my mind, man. I didn't ever put that together in my 45 years of being alive. That it literally means I'm breaking the fast in between supper, and then you don't eat anything until the morning, and you would break the fast. Whoa, dude, really? Did you know television means tell a vision? I wonder how much I could blow that guy's mind. He believes that life can be decoded like that. So he decides, you know what? Instead of breaking the fast, he starts fasting. He's not going to break the fast. He starts fasting, and which you fine, right? There's a lot of benefits, health benefits to fasting. I mean, most people fast to have the health benefits. They don't fast because they're trying to be contrarian because they don't want to break fast. But anyways, he starts fasting, and then he starts getting rid of fluoride. Fine, whatever. I don't have a big issue with fluoride, but I understand why people do. Fine, whatever. And then he starts running, and let me back up here. Intensely is his word. Intensely running in place every day. So you didn't let me finish. You go, Jason, it's awesome. He's getting athletic. He's running around town. He's waving at people. Dogs are attacking Dead Rabbit Radio listeners. He's waving at the dogs. Intensely running in place. So now I want you to picture this man, Loose, in his house in Houston, Texas, just running in place in his house. Hopefully, right? That's a little less weird because it's air conditioned maybe. Maybe he's just in his driveway running intensely. Over and over and over again, and that should set the scene for where we're going, because this Loose dude, speaking of Loose, a couple screws in his head, allegedly, right? Allegedly, I can't legally say that, I'm not a doctor. He also quits porn. That's totally fine. Porn, huge drain on the environment, produces more carbon than a lot of countries. Porn's horrible for the environment. More power to you, buddy. Quitting porn, you're doing the world a favor. Then, if that's not enough, he's running in place. He's like, oh no, I don't have anything to watch. I'm normally watching Pornhub right now. He's running in place. He starts doing extreme stretches. His word, okay, so first off, we can pretty much tell this guy takes things to the extreme. He doesn't just go running, he intensely runs in place. He begins doing extreme stretches. I don't know what that is. I imagine he's like a wacky wall crawler. He's like a Stretch Armstrong. He's like, ugh. He does extreme stretches for multiple hours a day. So again, I don't have a problem with physical fitness, right? I encourage it. But how do you stretch for multiple hours? I don't know what this guy does for work. Maybe he's a stretcher. Maybe he's like works at a construction site, and they're like, "Hey, we need this metal stretched out. Hey, Loose, you got it?" He's like, "Already on it." Stretching out stuff. Or he's unemployed, right? Or he's unemployed. Because I don't know how many bosses would allow be like, "Oh, it's break time." Wonder what Loose is doing. There's just a guy jogging in place in your break room. He's like, I gotta call OSHA about that guy. Multiple extreme stretches, or extreme stretches for multiple hours a day. And he does this because he realized that his body had all of these muscular knots in it. I feel I have that right now. I have a really bad knot in my back that's like radiating to the front. It's not getting any better. So he's doing these muscular stretches. Now I know why I have a muscle knot. I'm overweight, and I sit in a chair for most of the day editing a spooky podcast. That's a big part of it, right? And I need to drink more water. And I need to stretch more. So I gotta do extreme stretches. My stretches aren't extreme enough, apparently. But He says that the knots in his body are caused from the positions of a slave. He's constantly been in a slave, see, and like his knots have like tightened up. I don't get it. I don't get it either. I mean, I guess like maybe he has to sit down at an office job and he's like, oh, my muscular knots. Every time my boss tells me to do something, I get a little knot in my body. I don't know. But anyways, he says that the knots are actually like they were created because of his slave life. But, you know, he's doing these extreme stretches for hours and hours and hours a day, and then he's running in place when he's not doing that. And he says he starts to really enjoy life. Again, there's a lot of positive to come out of being physically fit, quitting porn, watching what you eat, starving yourself, fasting for extreme amounts of time. You're kind of pushing it there, buddy. But anyways, he starts to enjoy life. We enjoyed this loose, right? We like a guy who enjoys life. And then the very next sentence, again, he shows that something's not quite right. I mean, obviously, running in place all day, it's also a sign someone's not right. But he's starting to enjoy life, and when he's outdoors, he hears the birds. Loose. Loose. He has a big smile on his face. He's like, you know it. And then, like, a crow comes by. Caw, caw. Loose. Caw, caw. Loose. Caw, caw, caw. He's like, oh, yeah, that crow knows my name, too. Apparently, apparently he's in such a good mood that he hears the birds singing his name and the name of his wife. So unless his real name is Tweet Tweet and his wife's name is Caw, this is a hallucination, right? It's funny because I believe in ghosts and I believe in demons and stuff like that, and I guess I believe at some point like an animal could talk. Maybe one somewhere, like in the middle of Siberia in the 1700s. I wouldn't be shocked if it's happened once. But if a whole population of a species, if I was walking around and I heard birds spreading the word about Dead Rabbit Radio, they're like, Dead Rabbit Radio, Dead Rabbit Radio, I would assume I've lost my mind. But I guess I'm not stretching enough. I guess I'm not stretching my imagination enough to believe that this is real. So he says, like, now that he's cleaning out his pineal gland, it's decalcified because he's not on the fluoride anymore. He's given up porn, all this stuff. He's starting to see the world the way it really is. He says that he now will every so often look at someone, and as he's talking to them, this is terrifying. This is where it gets spooky, right? Like, that was all... Jason, this guy clearly has some mental issues, and you've been laughing about it the whole time. The whole thing's spooky. But this is where it gets creepy. Sometimes he's talking to people, and he'll see their eyes shift to reptilian eyes. And I'm not saying it's spooky because I'm afraid he's actually talking to reptilians. When I read these type of accounts, I always wonder, what if I'm talking to this dude? Imagine you're talking to this guy, you're talking to Luce, you don't know what's up, and he sees your eyes become reptilian. And he kind of looks at you and he goes, I knew you were one of them. You're like, what? And he walks away. If you're lucky, he walks away, right? He might start stabbing you right there. He says he also saw a woman shapeshift in front of him, but, you know, life is good. It's interesting, because, see, I do believe that there could be reptilian aliens, and I do believe in shapeshifters and stuff like that. I'm not saying that. It's interesting because I do believe in the elements of the story, but I don't believe him. Does that make sense? Like, even a crazy guy can be wrong. Let me back up. Crazy guys are often wrong, but they can. If a crazy guy started seeing ghosts in their house, I would assume that there's no ghosts. It's just him being crazy, but it doesn't mean I don't believe in ghosts at all. But anyway, so life is good, and that it's fine. You're not really damaging anyone at this point. I'm a little concerned about your knees from all the running and stretching, but one day he's on Tinder, which is odd because he's married, right? He's on Tinder, he's scrolling through, and he sees a pyramid stretch. And there's a photo in the show notes, and it's just one of those stretches where you're on your knees, and you reach back, and you touch the soles of your feet with the palms of your hands, right? And your body makes a little pyramid. I want you to visualize that right now. And if you are flexible enough, do it. Do it and send a photo to Dead Rabbit Radio. He's doing this pose, and so picture that. I want you to picture that in your head. And then the next sentence is probably the least likely of anything he said. He said that I don't know how. I don't know if this is Hunter Biden. I don't know if this is Joe Biden's son. I don't know of any way this is possible. But he said, when he is on his knees and he reaches back to put the palms of his hands on the soles of his feet, your head is bent backwards, and really the highest part of your body is your chest. Really, your neck is too. But you can kind of see this visual. Your body becomes a pyramid. He said, when he did this, he thought it might have been a demonic trap, honestly. He does it, and he says that he did it wrong. His chest was not the highest part of his body. His crotch was. For that, imagine that again. Imagine you're reaching back, maybe you're doing it right now. You're reaching back and you're touching the palms of your hands to the soles of your feet. And your crotch is the highest part of your body. Like either this dude is hung, super hung, right? Which I doubt it, because he would have started the story off like that. He goes, I have a 3-foot wiener. That's not how it starts. If you did have one, that's how every story would start. But how does that even happen? Now remember, the knees have to be touching the ground, the toes have to be touching the ground. It doesn't make sense, but he does this, and he thinks it's a demonic trap because he started convulsing immediately. Now, which would make sense if you spend most of your time stretching, the rest of your time running in place, and now you're taking this yoga pose, the pyramid pose, and you've done it so incorrectly. The only way your crotch could be the highest part of your body is if your head is under your feet and your chest has been crushed with a cinder block. That's the only way I can imagine this working. He starts convulsing, and then a demon shows up in him. A demon enters his body. What happens is he covers one of his eyes, the left eye, the evil eye, and this demon shows up and it says, I am the god of this world. The Smashing Pumpkins music starts playing. If I die, this world resets. If I blank, he doesn't remember what the demon said. This world resets. I'm going to assume it was die again. But apparently, so this demon pops in his body, and now he's possessed. And if he dies, the world will reset. He spends the next few days not really eating or sleeping, which I'm sure was kind of hard for anyone around him to tell that it was any less eating than he normally does. But his wife does get concerned, and we do have a real human in this story. She takes him to the hospital because he's not eating, he's not sleeping. His crotch is huge. His crotch is super swollen. She takes him to the hospital. He doesn't want to be there. He's got stuff to do. He has a demon in his body. He has a world to destroy. And he says that it took 6 staff members to hold him down. That's a bit of a brag, right? If you're a mental patient, and you're being dragged away, I wonder if in facilities they're like, that was nothing. It took 8 guys to hold me down, and one of them, I bit his lip off. I'm eating it right now. Like, do they try to one-up each other? Do mentally insane people try to one-up each other with how they were caught? Anyways, he says it took 6 people to hold him down, and one of them ripped off his bicep. So it has to be a full-blown hallucination, right? Ripped his bicep off. His own words. And one ripped my right bicep off. So it's gone. It's like, basically someone grabbed a steak of meat, ripped it off. No, I need that bicep. It was my favorite one. And he's like, fine, good thing he stopped watching porn. He doesn't need his right hand anymore. He's being held down by these guys. The other guy's like looking at this bicep. He's like, total hallucination. This dude saw his bicep get ripped off. And they don't acknowledge it, right? They're like, no, what do you mean? What do you mean I didn't rip off your bicep? And he's like, yeah, you did. You're holding it right there. And this, again, is one of those things that's so creepy about, like, hallucinations. Imagine you're standing in a room, and a guy's accusing you of ripping off his bicep. And you're like, bro, what are you talking about? We were just playing PlayStation 5. Everything was normal, and now your eyes are all crazy. They're a little reptilian. And you're accusing me of ripping off your bicep? And that dude's point of view is you standing there. Like, you're just normal. He sees you as standing there holding a bloody piece of meat. Just looking at him. That's terrifying. It's like two completely different realities. And he sees you have ripped off a chunk of his body. While he's at the hospital, he meets a woman named Jenny. It's unclear if this is a nurse or not. I'm assuming it's a nurse in this cast of characters. A woman named Jenny comes into the room and has to remove his wedding ring because his fingers are swollen. You get a bicep ripped off, it's bad for the blood flow. Jenny takes off his wedding ring and he has like a white band of flesh there. That tracks, right? That makes sense because if you're swollen, your fingers are probably red and you don't have a little white mark there from where the finger's not so swollen from the ring. And he notices that she is wearing a white lace ring. So he realizes that she has cast some sort of binding spell on him. He gets discharged from the hospital and he begins texting Jenny. Apparently Jenny likes a man with one bicep. He begins texting Jenny and his wife's like, please stop, please stop. You know the medical bills that you incurred because of all this stuff? Yeah, at least don't cheat on me. Also, what were you doing on Tinder? Why were you on Tinder? He's like, he is texting with Jenny. I don't know what they're talking about, comparing rings. And she's like, dude, stop doing that. Stop connecting with Jenny. And he goes, listen, Jenny told me that I'm a victim of the monarch programming, which is an old trope in conspiracy theory. The fact that usually children are kidnapped by the government. There is a lot of truth to it, but they've made it this more elaborate thing. It's basically the idea that the government brainwashes people. And they do it as childhood. There is a lot of stuff to back that up. Whether or not it's still in operation today, it probably is. Whether it is on the scale conspiracy theorists say it probably isn't. But there is a thing like monarch programming that does exist, right? But this doesn't. And he also says she's a clone. She's a living clone, an adult clone, and he's a member of the monarch programming, so of course you gotta text the clone, right? Even if you're in a loving relationship, if you have the chance to talk to a clone, you're talking to a clone. He ends up having to take medication because of, all of this insanity. He ends up being diagnosed with something he doesn't tell us, and he ends up taking medication for his mental illness. He does say he stopped hallucinating. So it's interesting, this far in the narrative, he admits that he had trouble hallucinating. You're like, no, duh, Jason, I figured that out long ago. He didn't need to say that in the second paragraph. He says that he stopped hallucinating, but now he wants to kill himself. And, that's no joke. Like, if you're suffering that much, change your medication. Go see someone. But anyways, so he stops hallucinating, but now he wants to kill himself. And this part threw me for a loop when I was reading this for the first time. I had to read it multiple times for it to make sense. He ends up, he's not hallucinating at this point, according to him. According to him and the magical elf sitting on his shoulder, he's like, you sure aren't, buddy. Everything's real now. He goes back to the hospital to have surgery on his arm. Because apparently, even though he was taking the medication, he's not hallucinating, he didn't have a right bicep anymore. The dude actually ripped it off, apparently, and then kept it. And he says they reattached his bicep to his arm using the Achilles tendon of a cadaver. Which was good for him because he loves running so much. Now he can run on 3 limbs. Apparently his bicep really did get totally removed from his body. They preserved it in some sort of pickle brine. And then they got a cadaver's Achilles tendon and they've reattached it. He's doing fine, except he has a scar on his right arm where all of this happened that's in the shape of a satanic lightning bolt. And he goes, that's a sign. That's why I'm on this Joy of Satan forum. I believe the ultimate battle between good and evil, between God and Satan, between the demons and the angels, are being waged in my body. My body, my life, my spirit
it's crazy.
Is the ultimate battle.
I got 17 points.
Absolute delusions of grandeur as well. Might as well put that on top of it, right? And that'd be interesting. He's probably not going to stay medicated a long time, especially if he's having thoughts of suicide. Hope he takes care of that. But think about it, like, every sneeze you got, you're like, someone goes, God bless you, and you're like, you have no idea. You have no idea how much that helps, sir. That put back the forces of hell, and you're like, huh? Like, everything that his body goes through, you would imagine, he would imagine, not you, he would imagine, is a sign of this eternal battle. We're going to wrap it up like this. This really, really sums up how terrifying it would be to be with someone in a situation like this. Because Luce is a normal guy who's walking around Houston. When I say normal, probably has a job, probably has a car, probably has a house, someone's neighbor, someone's coworker, something like that. And then he has these delusions. And again, imagine you as just you, right? A outside observer walking down the street. You meet him on a sidewalk. This is how he talks about his wife. Imagine this type of interaction with just you, someone he doesn't know. Quote, "My wife always freaked out when I talked about Jenny, and I think it's possible my wife is a Freemason. I straight up asked her if she is, and she started joking around, said the president of her country was a Freemason, and she carries a picture of her president everywhere. So what did I think she was?" I really doubt this interaction happened. His wife has to know he's struggling with mental health issues. And when he goes, "Are you a Freemason?" you would just lie, right? She could have a grand order in her closet. She could be a high-ranking member. You would just lie because you know that this guy has some serious delusions. But he goes, "Are you a Freemason?" And she goes, "Well, what do you think? Here's a picture of my president." I don't know what country she's from, but she's like, "Here's a picture of the president in my wallet." And he's like, "So are you a Freemason?" And she's like, "What does this say?" I don't think she would lead on a guy who, first off, he's in great shape, right? He can run and he can do stretches, and but mentally he's in a bad shape. I don't think she would do that. I think she would just lie or tell the truth. Maybe she's not a Freemason. I don't know. But let me continue here. I don't think she would go to mom. Let me continue here. Quote, "I asked her again because I said it was a yes or no question, and she made the shh sign." She put her finger to her lip. "And then she said she was going to cut me up and spread my entrails in the street. I asked her again, and she finally said no." But they can lie to non-members. Did that even happen? Did any part of that conversation happen? I mean, I'm sure he goes, "Are you a Freemason?" And she probably said, "No. For the 100th time this hour, Luce, I'm not a Freemason." But in his mind, "Are you a Freemason? Here's a picture of the president, and he's a Freemason. So what do you think, Luce? Are you a Freemason? Shh. I'll cut you up and spread your entrails all over the street." "No, I'm not a Freemason." That's terrifying. That's the conversation he heard in his head. And how do you react to that? She's sitting there, and he asks her a question, and she does say no. I'm sure that's what happened. But his brain created this thing, and this woman who loves him apparently takes him to the hospital when he's not doing well, stays with him. As Luce is looking at her, she stares at him directly and goes, "I'm going to cut you up and spread your entrails across the street." She's a beast. She's a demon. How do you deal with that? Because that's, now he honestly believes that has happened. That his wife has threatened to murder him. And is she, I don't know if she's on Joy of Satan. I don't know if she's a member of this forum. I don't know if she knows this is what he thinks about her. But it is what he thinks about her. And this is on the medication. So the medication may be getting rid of the hallucinations, the visual ones, but terrifying story. Tonight, a woman is lying in bed next to a man who believes that she threatened to cut him up and spread his entrails across the street, and that she's a member of this vast conspiracy against him. And as she sleeps peacefully, he watches her slumber and trying to figure out if she is good or if she is evil. It is a question he asks himself every night. And so far, he's looked at her and said, "No, she's a good woman. She loves me." But what happens on the night when he lays next to his unconscious wife and decides, no, this woman is not good. She is evil.
It was
She
scary.
is darkness. She is my enemy. A terrifying true story straight from the mouth of the mentally afflicted. A man who believes the battle of good and evil is being waged in his soul. And everyone from his wife to random strangers are signs and symbols of that conflict. A man on the precipice of losing his mind. A man walking the streets of Houston, Texas. DeadRabbitRadio@gmail.com is going to be our email address. You can also hit us up at Facebook.com/DeadRabbitRadio.
Oops. Let's enjoy this for a second. gonna try this. To do this. Man,
How do you see the location? It's weird. Like, not even a really free party where I talked to.
The Gold Coast in Queensland. I love the ocean, obviously. Australian thing, so I can say that. I love Vegemite. I definitely ate Vegemite as a child. Everyone does. It would be super weird if you didn't, but it is an acquired taste. This is what it sounds like. That's the sound of my childhood. Take it slow, maybe add a slice of cheese with it. It can be a lot just on its own. I moved to the United States when I was 20 years old. I love it. I got a job pretty quickly and I got to go to New York for the first time, and I was working on a show called Pan Am, which is about flight attendants in the 60s. This is an authentic seatbelt from 1963 when the show was set. You can tell that this is proper vintage. It's not. Here's the sound of the seatbelt. Wait for the satisfying bit. Sexy. Hairspray was actually a big part of Pan Am. This is what the sound of the 60s is. Also satisfying. The smell is really bringing back memories of my first American film, which was The Wolf of Wall Street. I played Naomi, and she is the wife of stockbroker Jordan Belfort, who was played by Leonardo DiCaprio. She was wickedly fun to play, very different from myself. This is what it sounds like when Naomi is walking towards you. That sounds a little more ominous than she probably sounds coming towards you, but you get the idea. The easiest day of shooting I ever did was my little cameo role in The Big Short, where for literally I did half a day of shooting in a mansion in Malibu, and I got to sit in a bathtub. Adam McKay actually gave me real champagne, not just any champagne, but 20-year-old Dom Perignon. I'm gonna replicate. This bit's less exciting, hold on. And to take my favorite line today, now fuck off. Thank you for listening.
Okay. See, there's a lot of break-ins. I'm gonna you leave it, your car kind of converts, miss.
Seems like a decent mic.
You don't have a back window, huh?
No. I do, yeah.
No, but it just doesn't work?
Yeah, I mean,
Can you see through it?
what do you mean it works?
I can see through it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I want to see my pocket. I gotta just turn that way. These guys work fast.
What the fuck is Greg down?
It's Phoenix. Thank you for joining me. In tonight's video, I wanted to do something Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is the first, you have 3 or 4 videos scary stories to you just in time for Halloween. So if you're in the mood to be a little scared and also a little relaxed, then keep on watching. I think in this video I'll probably do a mixture of whispers and soft speaking. For today's video, I will leave links and all credit info for the stories that these authors very kindly let me use. So big thank you. So without further ado, let's just jump in. So story number 1, The Seer of Possibilities. Sometimes otherworldly beings find interesting ways to try and contact you. They might use a Ouija board, or maybe come to you in a dream, or sometimes they speak through another person. They each have their own style and preference that's particular to them. The one who contacted Jack spoke to him through his computer, or I guess you could say the communication was through on-screen text. The first time it happened, Jack had been sitting at his computer playing solitaire. Blinking red light from the router indicated that his internet connection was down again. This was at least a weekly occurrence, and Jack was getting used to his spotty internet service. As he moved his cards, the game faded into a solid black screen, and the red text appeared. Hi Jack, I need a favor from you. You are a very special person, and I know you'll help me. I can't ask this of just anyone. I really need your help. Jack paused for a second. The router light was still blinking red. Is this some sort of joke? He couldn't help but wondering. Several moments later, the message continued. Yes, Jack. I know this is weird for you, but I don't want you to worry. This is just a small, easy favor I need. I'll make sure you're rewarded. Now, nearly in a panic, Jack reached around and pulled the internet cable completely from the wall. Still here, Jack. I don't want to waste any more of your time, so get right to what I need. Tomorrow when you go to work, I need you to move the large potted plant that's next to the elevator on the ground floor. All you have to do is pull it out 3 inches from the wall. If you do it at 8:17 a.m., nobody else will be in the area. Jack sat there, refusing to respond, still trying to figure out what was happening. The writing continued. Look, Jack, I'm asking you because I know you'll do it. You won't let me down. You're special. We'll talk tomorrow. Jack pulled the power cord from the wall and the computer went blank. Did that really just happen? He thought. Still shaking from the experience, he took a warm shower and got ready for bed, convincing himself that he either had some crazy dream or that this was just some elaborate joke. But who would play that kind of joke on him? He didn't really have any friends or enemies. He woke up next morning feeling refreshed. Work would start at 8:30 a.m. and Jack was never late. He pulled into the parking lot at 8:10 a.m. Normally he'd go right in, but the message had told him to move the plant at 8:17 a.m. Was he really gonna do it? Overnight, Jack's fear had turned into curiosity. Let's say he moved the plant. He wouldn't be doing anything wrong or illegal, right? In Jack's mind, the most reasonable course of action was to move the plant. He'd do it, nothing would happen, and he'd be able to put this whole crazy matter behind him. 1 minute before 8:17, Jack left his car and walked towards the building. He entered the foyer at exactly the time he was supposed to. The message was right. Nobody else was around. Odd, Jack thought. The building was normally busy this time of morning. This temporary lull had been accurately predicted. Fine, let's see what happens, Jack muttered to himself. He walked up to the large potted plant, placed firmly between the 2 elevators in the lobby of the 10-story building. He walked up to the large potted plant. The plant looked like it was fake. Decoration people passed every day without really noticing. It was heavier than Jack realized. He put some might into his effort and pulled the plant out 3 inches to his best estimate. He stood back and looked at the plant. then looked around the lobby. People were coming in behind him now. The lobby was starting to fill up again. Nobody seemed to notice the plant was in a slightly different location. Nothing seemed different at all. Jack skipped the next elevator and waited. Waited for something, but nothing happened. Finally, Jack entered the elevator and made it to his 7th floor cubicle. On time, like always. If you ever asked Jack's co-workers to describe him, you'd hear words like polite, quiet, respectful, and competent. And while those words are all accurate, they gave little indication of the truth that Jack really didn't like most people. That's not to say he disliked them, just that he had very little interest in getting to know them or being their friend, save for one, Allie, the girl who sat 2 cubicles down from him, was the only person he wanted to know more about. With her big smile, blonde hair, and beautiful figure, Jack was very interested in learning all about her. Despite his lack of success with women in the past, he was actually doing a fair job of getting to know her. Every morning as he passed her cubicle, he'd stop for a chat. The chats for 1 minute at first, then 2 minutes, then several minutes. Jack was surprised that she actually seemed to like him. On this particular morning, the daily conversation lasted only a couple minutes. As they exchanged their morning greetings and talked about Allie's wild night out, the elevator doors opened up behind them. Out hobbled James Bentley, the boss of both Jack and Allie. James's loud complaining could be heard throughout the office. My damn foot. What happened, James? Came the mumbled queries. It's that damn plant they have in the lobby. I ran right into it and twisted my ankle. James, you can barely walk. You need to go to the hospital, came Allie's concerned reply. Can't do it now. I have meetings all day. Too important to cancel. I'll just have to tough it out. Jack, feeling stunned, left Allie's cubicle mid-conversation and sunk down into his chair. It was his fault. He was sure of it. How could he have been so stupid and careless? Still, no use in worrying about it now. Twisted ankle would heal everything. Would be all right. Upon his return home, Jack went immediately to his computer and turned it on. As soon as the computer booted up, the screen went black and a new message popped up. How was your day, Jack? He sat there, staring at the screen, not knowing how to answer. The message on the screen continued. Actually, I know how your day was, but never let it be said that I'm not polite. You're wondering what's going on. You want to know why James Bentley had to twist his ankle. Well, Jack, this chain of events isn't done playing out. I don't want to tell you too much soon, but this will all make sense to you in short order. Just go to work tomorrow like you normally do. Don't worry about a thing, Jack. You'll be rewarded. You're special. Talk to you tomorrow. Jack sat back in his chair. What was going on? Who was this was sending him messages? Jack's curiosity was fully engaged, and he was almost a bit excited to see what would happen next. The next morning at work started off as any ordinary day. Jack noticed that the plant had been pushed back fully against the wall, probably by the night cleaning crew. James Bentley showed up shortly after lunch, hobbling into the office on his one good foot. Man, this foot is killing me, Jack could overhear him say, but apparently James still had a meeting he didn't want to miss. It wasn't until around 3 o'clock that Jack saw him again. James, who always seemed to prefer Allie over others, came limping up to her cubicle. Allie, you're not doing anything right now, are you? No. Nothing that can't wait until tomorrow, I guess. Good. Could you please drive me to see my doctor? I probably should have gone yesterday, but
but I just couldn't get away. This pain is just killing me right now. I don't think I can drive myself. I barely made it here this morning. And I don't think I can even push the gas pedal right now. We can take my car if you want. Yeah, that's fine, James. I don't have a problem taking you. Turning to Jack, she said her goodbye. See you tomorrow, Jackie. She put on her coat, slowly followed James as he struggled down the hallway. She gave a half turn and a shrug in Jack's direction, with a little smile as she walked away. Jack felt even lonelier than normal when she was gone. It was 10 minutes later that they all heard the crash. It was preceded by the loud metal horn of an 18-wheeler screeching brakes. The collision itself was a sickening thud of two large metal objects colliding. Even on the 7th floor, it was loud. The office workers gasped and ran to the windows. Is that James's car? One of them asked. Hard to tell from up here, someone responded. It's so banged up. The horrifying implication of what had just happened hit Jack immediately. No, he thought. This can't be true. Shaking all the way, he ran to the elevator and went to the ground floor, along with several others from the office. Some of them were crying. As they joined the growing crowd around the scene of the accident, Jack could hear the far-off sound of emergency sirens. Looking past the gawkers, he could see that the 18-wheeler had hit James's car broadside. Its driver had been thrown down to the pavement where he lay motionless. James was sitting in the passenger seat of his car, motionless, but with a surprised look on his bloody face. Jack couldn't tell if he was alive or dead. The driver's side, where Allie was seated, had taken the hit. The space she was occupying had been compacted to a third of its original size. Allie's head was smashed open and her twisted body was broken and battered. The crowd was stunned. Tears, screams, sirens, that was all Jack could hear without going back inside the building. Jack ran to his car and drove home, angry and sad. He made the journey home and to his computer. There the machine sat. He wanted to turn it on, but was afraid of what he'd find out. Was he really the one responsible for Allie's death? The whole chain of events had started with him. He knew he was to blame. Jack reached for the power button and then pulled his hand back. Finally, after 7 minutes, he found the mental strength to turn it on. The screen flickered and then went black. A familiar text started appearing on screen. No, Jack, it's not your fault. I know you're blaming yourself, but all people die eventually. Some just sooner than others. Jack stared at the screen. He resisted the urge to throw the monitor to the ground. After a moment, the writing continued. Jack, I'm gonna tell you something, and I really need you to seriously consider everything I'm about to say. You thought you were in love with Allie. The truth is, you just wanted to fuck her. And please excuse my language, but every once in a while, it's best to be blunt. Jack, she wasn't the one for you. She would have made your life miserable. Yes, you would have eventually found the courage to ask her out. She actually was interested in you. She thought you'd make a good project. Sad, really, for her, not you. I want you to think about all the things she told you. Why did her last boyfriend break up with her? Because she cheated on him, Jack mumbled under his breath. Because she cheated on him, Jack. The same thing she would have done to you. She would have made you happy for about 2 months, and then miserable for the next 4 years. Sneaking around, laughing at you behind your back, spending all your money. Once you finally got rid of her, you would have been so jaded that you'd never date again. This is true, Jack. But you let your lust for her blind you to the truth. Together, you and I have made sure you avoided that path. One more thing, Jack. This isn't done playing out yet. There's more to come. No, fuck you. You killed her. Jack screamed and threw the monitor from the desk. It landed on the floor and sparked out. Jack got barely any sleep that night, and the next day he wasn't sure he wanted to go to work. But the last words he'd been told were piqued his curiosity, and his anger had somewhat subsided. No work was done that day at the office. The company brought in grief counselors. People shared their thoughts. They cried, they hugged. James had actually survived the accident, but was in a coma. Doctors thought he might recover eventually, but nobody was really sure. Late in the afternoon, Jack was approached by Diego Silvera, the head of the division. Diego was blunt and upfront, and he offered James's position to Jack. Technically, it would be a temporary promotion, but James wouldn't be back anytime soon. Diego promised that the promotion would be made permanent once enough time had passed. Let's keep this low-key for now, Diego told him. I know it might seem quick, but the Lancaster project James was working on can't be stopped. It's too important to the company. I need someone in charge right away. This can't wait. Stunned, Jack accepted the promotion. He left work with a strange mixture of feelings. Not really sure how he felt about anything. On his way home, he stopped at the electronics store and brought a new monitor. He made it home and powered up the computer. Once again, the writing came on screen. Jack, I want to be the first one to congratulate you. I'm proud of what you accomplished. Jack stared at the screen. Jack, I have to ask your forgiveness because I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm called the Seer. Like I told you before, I see what will be, and I see what can be. It's a very powerful gift I have. But you know what, Jack? For all my power, I still can't do anything corporeal. I can predict, I can see, and with enough effort, can even communicate. But I don't have a body. That's something that was taken from me long time ago. That's why I need you, Jack. I'm an artist of sorts. An artist of human manipulation. You'll be my paintbrush and my canvas. I want you to work with me, Jack. It's all very simple. Just perform simple tasks for me from time to time. Jack was becoming more and more curious. And Jack, before you give me an answer, I want you to know a couple things. First off, I'll never lie to you. Secondly, I'll never ask you to do anything which, taken by itself, is wrong or illegal. Yes, bad things will result, and sometimes people will die. They're going to die eventually anyways, right, Jack? And the bad will always be balanced out by something good happening to you. Jack winced at this idea, and he fought the urge to turn the computer off. The Seer was right. Everyone would die eventually. Why not let something good come of it? And what about never lying to him? If he'd known at the time that Allie was going to die, he'd never have gone through with the original favor. But as he thought more about it, he realized the Seer hadn't lied to him, but had only withheld information. Still, Jack wondered if he could trust the Seer. Work with me, Jack. Together we'll make incredible things happen. I'm just asking you to perform little tasks from time to time. Oh, but these little tasks will have great consequences. They're going to be beautiful, Jack, and they'll always end with a reward for you. That's the beauty of my art. One single task produces something bad and something good. Oh, one last thing, Jack. I can see you're having trouble with this. If I stopped talking to you right now, it would take you about 2 weeks to decide to join me. But you know what, Jack? You would join me. That's right. You're going to say yes. So instead of waiting, why not just say yes to me now? Let's get started, Jack. And when all of this is over, you're going to thank me Jack considered what the seer had just said. His initial feeling of revolt was slowly fading. He paused, and then for the first time he placed his fingers on the keyboard and responded directly to the seer. What do you want me to do next? As years passed, Jack did every favor the seer asked of him. And as the seer had promised, Jack was rewarded for his actions each time. The rewards often came in unexpected and interesting ways. One of the most memorable experiences for Jack happened about 2 years ago, when he first agreed to help the seer. Jack, I need you to go downtown tomorrow, the seer requested. Enter Garment's Liquor at exactly 12:37 p.m. A man will ask you a question. The answer you're going to give him is 27. As always, the seer's instructions were simple and direct, yet mysterious. The next day, as requested, Jack entered the store. In front of him, a burly construction worker was at the counter filling out a lottery payslip. Let's see here, the construction worker said. My birthday, that's the 15th. My wife's birthday, that's the 24th. And my kids' ages 2, 10, and 13. The man scratched his head, looking around, zeroing in on Jack. Hey, buddy, I need another number. You got one for me? Jack smiled. 27. Really? I was thinking about playing 35. But you know what? I like your face. Let's go with 27. With that, the man completed his slip and paid for his lottery ticket. See ya, pal, he said happily. He patted Jack on the shoulder on his way out the door. Jack tried not to put any more thought into what would happen to this man. Just let these things play out, Jack. You'll never guess how things end up. Just let yourself be surprised, the seer had advised him. He knew, considering the way the seer worked, there was no way possible that he'd actually helped this man. But giving him a losing lottery number, that was too simple for the seer, and he couldn't imagine he'd actually give him a winning number. So that's how Jack was surprised when 2 weeks later, he ran into the same man again, this time at the grocery store. Hey buddy, it's you. I remember you. Check it out. I won. Indeed, the man looked like $1 million, wearing new clothes, a new gold watch, and a big, goofy smile. The man walked right up to Jack. I didn't think I'd ever see you again, but I'm glad you're here. Could have never won without you. Hey, let me buy these groceries for you. No, wait, that's not good enough. You're my good luck charm. Always gotta treat people right. That's what my mom says. Reaching right into his pocket, the man removed his checkbook and promptly wrote Jack a check for $10,000. It's the least I can do, my good luck charm. After thanking the man and feeling a bit confused by the whole thing, Jack raced home to his computer. After turning it on, Sears' writing appeared on screen. Well, Jack, how does it feel to be $10,000 richer? It feels good, but I can't help wonder if you've never helped anyone before. Why are we starting now? Jack asked that question with a tinge of guilt. He never liked to admit that people were being hurt by his actions, but in this case, his curiosity overwhelmed any latent feelings of guilt. Oh, Jack, we haven't helped anyone. Yes, that man is happy now, but he'll have lost every last penny within 2 years. You saw it for yourself. He just gives money away. Old friends, lost relatives, they're all going to come asking him for money. And there will be some very bad investments as well. The stress of losing everything is going to cause his wife to leave him. She'll take the kids too. He'll be alone and broke, a ruined man who would have been much better off if he'd never won. You needn't feel bad, Jack. It's the man's own stupidity and greed that will do this to him. Jack felt some regret, but the seer's rationalizing and focusing on his own reward always put him at peace in the end. Through the years, no two tasks were ever alike. Sometimes the effect of his actions were direct and easy to see. Other times they caused a chain of reaction so complex that he could not follow it. Go to the county administrator's building. Park in space number 43 at 4:47 p.m. came one such request. Jack did so, and 2 months later he met Donna, with whom he fell in love and ended up marrying. He wouldn't have even known the two events were related if he hadn't asked the seer about it. Jack, when you parked in that space, you caused the person who would have parked there to park in a different spot. But she bumped the car next to her. She barely made a scratch, but she called her insurance agent anyway, causing him to leave the office late. He missed his train home, and while waiting for the late train, he was mugged and stabbed. He'll never fully recover. The muggers took his credit cards and used them. And Jack, I could keep going with this, but there's about 23 people involved. Sometimes these favors are going to be very complicated. But let's just say your action ultimately caused Donna to be in the exact right place for you to meet her. Jack's relationship with the seer grew. Though remaining mostly mysterious, the seer divulged enough information over time so that Jack could get a generalized understanding of the seer's history. From historical references, Jack knew the seer was thousands of years old. When still alive, the seer had been a powerful fortune teller and artist who foretold future happenings through paintings. A foolish king who misinterpreted the seer's prediction and lost a battle as a result had the seer executed. Unencumbered by physical senses and existing in a lonesome void, the seer's abilities expanded exponentially. Finally learning to communicate with the living, the seer began reaching out to those who would respond, including Jack. And of course, the seer knew everything about Jack. In all, it was much of a friendship as one can have with a dead person. And Jack was grateful to the seer too. He had a nice job, a nice house, a beautiful wife, and people respected him. He was happy, which is something he never really felt before the seer contacted him. 12 years in total passed. 12 good years for Jack. Task after task was completed, usually about one every month. Jack, sitting in the office of his large rural house, was contacted by the seer once again. Hi Jack, I have a favor to ask of you. This one's the easiest yet. You don't even have to get up. Call Riago's Pizza in exactly 2 minutes. Let the phone ring 3 times, then you can hang up. Jack smiled, nice and easy. He no longer wondered about how these tasks would play out. He trusted the seer and simply did as he was told. Jack made the call exactly 2 minutes later. The quietness of the household was broken 30 minutes later by the ringing doorbell. That's odd, Jack thought. Neither he nor Donna were expecting anyone. Jack looked at the people and saw a pizza delivery boy. The logo on his cap said Riago's Pizza. Jack opened the door. Here's your pizza, said the boy as he thrust it into Jack's hand. But I didn't order this, Jack argued. Look, I don't give a damn if you ordered it or not. Mr. Riago told me to take it here, so that's what I'm doing, the delivery boy argued, as he looked increasingly annoyed and spat in the bushes. Jack looked at the boy in front of him. He looked to be about 17 years old, but the most noticeable thing about him was his size. He was huge, probably about 6.5 feet tall. Very muscular. It's already paid for by credit card. Just take it because I'm not driving it back. The boy put out his hand for a tip. I don't have any cash on me. Jack told the truth. Whatever, came the disgusted reply. The boy looked past Jack into the house, then turned and walked slowly to his waiting car, looking over his shoulder as he walked. Jack closed the door and took the pizza to the living room, where Donna was watching TV. After explaining what had happened, he excused himself to go to the office, promising to return shortly. Donna opened the pizza box and took a piece. "Come back soon, sweetie. This pizza's got all your favorite toppings on it," Donna giggled as she took a bite. Arriving at his computer, the seer's words on the screen. "Confused, Jack? Don't be. Your neighbor down the road ordered the pizza." Mr. Riaga told the boy the correct address, but a ringing phone made it difficult for him to be heard clearly. Still, give the boy credit, he got the street right at least. "So my pizza is my reward?" Jack typed, a little confused. "Yes, Jack. Your reward is pizza, and also the chance to spend a little time with your wife. Go down there, share the pizza, enjoy it. When you're done, make love to Donna. That's not one of your tasks, that's just some advice I think you should follow. Oh, by the way, your neighbors who ordered the pizza are arguing right now over the silly fact that the pizza didn't arrive. Some of the things people argue over amaze me. They really do. Their fight is going to get very heated, but you don't need to worry about that. Go, enjoy your night." Jack followed the seer's advice, cuddled with Donna as they enjoyed their meal, then made love to her on their big, comfortable living room couch. Donna fell asleep on the couch shortly after 11 p.m. Jack lay there awake. This latest favorite just felt odd. Carefully extracting his arm under Donna, Jack left the living room and headed upstairs, sitting down at the computer. Jack typed. "Are you there?" "Yes, Jack. I'm actually always here. Been waiting for you to come back. That pizza delivery boy is quite a specimen, isn't he?" Jack looked quizzically at the screen. "He's a horrible employee. He was hired only 3 days ago, and already Mr. Riaga wants to fire him. But as a physical specimen, he's strong, fast, and very observant. For example, he noticed that you didn't lock the front door after he delivered your pizza." "What?" Jack said aloud as he started to get up. "Sit down, Jack. I need to tell you something important. And locking the door now won't change the situation." Jack slowly took his seat again on the computer, looking behind himself as he did so. "You see, Jack, it's true that I never lied to you. Everything I've ever told you is 100% honest. But yes, I've withheld certain facts. You see, I told you that every task causes something bad to happen to someone else and something good to happen to you. But there's a third thing. There's an ultimate goal that each task was working toward. Remember Allie? Of course you do. You probably don't remember about her is that she was helping to pay her brother's way through college. When she died, he had to drop out. He was going to be a great psychologist, but now he works in a factory instead. It's really too bad for a pizza delivery boy. He could have used a good therapist a few years ago. But that good therapist wasn't there for him. Instead, he got some fruity and quack. Remember our lottery winner? Yes, you do. He was a neighbor to our pizza boy. After he lost all his money, of course. He beat the boy senseless after the boy jumped into the street in front of his car. Quite a traumatic memory for a young lad. And his mother didn't care about that incident. Didn't protect the boy at all. She couldn't. Not after using all the drugs given to her by her boyfriend, who happened to be one of the muggers who robbed the insurance agent. He brought the drugs with the money he made from the robbery. Do you see now the scope of my artistry? Jack sat, glaring at the monitor. He wanted to get up to check on Donna, but he was too scared to move. The seer continued. Jack, you've done over 100 tasks for me, and each one has served an ultimate purpose. To psychologically destroy this boy, turn him into a monster, and to bring him here tonight. Don't you see, Jack? This involved tens of thousands of people and billions of possibilities. If you had failed to complete even one of the tasks, the whole chain would have collapsed. This was orchestrated by me and set in motion by you. Together we've done something wonderful. This is a masterpiece of human manipulation. Our masterpiece. And it all begins and ends with you. 2 perfect points in time. Tonight, wrong address, no tip. This poor boy finally snapped. He's downstairs right now. he's slitting Donna's throat at this exact moment. Jack could hear a short, muffled scream coming from the living room, followed by a gurgling noise. "No!" Jack screamed and stood up, starting to run downstairs. Jack stopped. The voice startled Jack. It was inside his head. For the first time, Seer was talking to him directly. It was a pleasant voice, a feminine voice. "You can't do anything. She's already gone. He'll be coming for you shortly, and you can't stop him." "But why?" Jack cried with tears welling up in his eyes. "It's not an artistic masterpiece if it doesn't begin and end with you, Jack." Her voice was soothing. "I want you to appreciate the fact that I'm talking to you directly. This requires all of my energy, and as a result, I'll have to rest for several years before I can contact anyone again. That's how special you are to me. Please don't feel bad about this, Jack. I want you to take a moment and enjoy our accomplishment as much as I do." The voice paused briefly and then continued. "Don't you know what, Jack? If I'd never contacted you, you would have lived for 85 years. 85 boring, meaningless, and bitter years. And when you died, nobody would have been at your funeral. I gave you 12 great, meaningful years. You were happy, and together we did something beautiful, something unique." Jack paused a minute and considered his 12 years of happiness, and his tears of sorrow mixed with tears of joy. He turned and looked at the computer, while behind him, the massive hulk of the demented delivery boy appeared in the doorway, a bloody knife in his left hand. On the screen, the last words from the Seer appeared. "Don't you have something to say to me, Jack?" Jack wiped his tears, absorbed everything the Seer had just told him. As the Hulk started stepping closer to him, Jack said, mouthed his final words, "Thank you." I mean, that was a really intense story. Holy crap.
That's ridiculous.
I'm gonna go take a break now because I was not expecting that. I hope you enjoyed this video, though, and that you are enjoying this month of Halloween videos. And I will see you soon. the Sandman. Go to bed and wait for the Sandman. Even as it came out of James's mouth, it seemed to him a bit strange thing to say. And he was not sure why he had, but for some reason it worked. Daniel went to bed. The next morning, though, he asked, "What does the Sandman look like?" James was making breakfast. Daniel sat at the table, short legs swinging under his chair. "Nothing really," James said. "It's just an expression." "What does it mean?" "Just something people say." He put a plate of eggs in front of Daniel and kissed him on the top of his head. He thought that would be the end of it. Until he saw the Sandman for himself. He was getting ready for bed and stopped by Daniel's room to check on him while he slept, as he often did. It was such a routine precaution that when he saw a pale, naked man sitting on the edge of Daniel's bed, rocking back and forth, it took a moment for him to process what he was seeing. He reacted the way any father would, of course. He ran into the room screaming, and for a moment he thought about attacking the intruder. But then the man on the bed turned, and that's when James saw that it wasn't really a man. It was a pale, slithery thing, hairless and warped, its joints turned the wrong way, its body out of shape with itself. When it moved, it was like an insane marionette dancing on a stage. James froze. The skittering thing watched him. He felt the spreading warmth, and he realized he'd pissed his pants. Only when he remembered that Daniel was still there in bed, staring at the broken-shaped thing sitting a foot away, that he regained the courage to move. He grabbed Daniel and ran. In the hall, he turned to see if the thing would follow them, but it didn't. For a moment it watched, and then, moving like a stop-motion nightmare, it crawled to the window and jumped out, leaving only the billowy curtains to mark its passing. James had trouble talking to the police. He reported a break-in, and when asked to describe the intruder, he didn't know what to say. How could he make the ordinary man in blue uniform sitting at his kitchen table while two of his colleagues searched the house understand a thing like he'd seen? He couldn't even understand it himself. To make matters worse, Daniel's memory did not correspond to James's. He described an ordinary-looking burglar, a man in a mask, he said. James thought about it. Had it been a mask? No. It would have been a full costume, an elaborate one, something they would use in a movie, and that would not explain the way it moved. But in the end, he simply echoed his son's testimony. A man in a mask, he said. A burglar. The lie unsettled him almost as much as what had happened. The doctor said Daniel wasn't hurt and showed no signs of molestation. James was relieved. They stayed at a motel for a couple of nights until they felt ready to come home. And then James had a new security system installed, along with bars on the windows. He didn't like the sight of them in Daniel's room, but it seemed like the only thing to do. James was frightened that first night back in the house, but Daniel, strangely, was not. When asked if he felt okay sleeping alone, he said yes. In the end, it was James who found himself wishing he were not sleeping alone. He was up all night listening for the sound of anything moving in the house. although he had convinced himself that his memory was faulty and that it had been a normal, albeit probably deeply disturbed, man in his son's room. When he closed his eyes for a moment, he pictured bloodless skin and a twisted, inhuman face. He found himself wondering, why my house? Why my family? He knew, of course, that there didn't have to be a reason, but still, he wondered. 2 weeks later, Daniel stopped talking. James didn't notice at first. The kid went through quiet phases sometimes, but eventually he tried to get Daniel to talk, and he wouldn't. Eventually, it became clear that he couldn't. Back to the doctor they went. Nothing wrong with him that they could see, was the diagnosis. Was it a trauma, James asked. Could be, they said. Sometimes these things come on late. Children can be a mystery, even to those who know them best. They recommended a child psychologist, whom James couldn't afford. He could not, for that matter, even afford the bill they were giving him now. Nothing seemed to help. Daniel would write down answers to questions sometimes, but never more than a yes or no. When James asked him what was wrong, or if he'd seen or heard anything that frightened him, Daniel would only stare. He seemed furtive and bemused. James found himself missing the sound of his son's voice. Sometimes he wanted to hear it so bad that he ached. But it seemed that Daniel would not talk again until he was ready. James had other things to worry about too. He was convinced, beyond reason, that the intruder was not really gone, that the alarm never went off and the locks and bars remained undisturbed. He was sure that he heard movement in the night, and not normal movement. It was a sound like a huge snake slithering through the house. When he heard it, he imagined horrible things. Nothing was ever there when he went to investigate, though he often thought he glimpsed something just out of the corner of his eye, a pale foot or a misshapen shadow that would slink away as soon as he turned. He rarely slept, and when he did, he had haunted dreams. Soon he realized he had not left the house in weeks, except to go to the bank and buy groceries. He felt hemmed in. With Daniel acting mute, he hadn't had an actual conversation with anyone in weeks. So he called his mother. The connection was bad and her voice sounded faint, the verge of not being there at all. "I guess I'm okay, Ma," he said, pausing to wipe the sweat from his palms and then make sure he could hear Daniel playing on in the next room. But things have been a little rough. We had a break-in. "Oh, how awful," Mom said. "Did they take anything?" "Nah, just ran off. It was weird though. I haven't really felt comfortable since then." "Are you still working at the hospital?" "No, Ma, I left last year. You know that." "Oh, well, have you been getting out? What about that nice woman you were seeing last year? The one who played the piano?" James scowled. She was always asking that kind of thing. Didn't she know how hard it was, being a single father? That he didn't have the time. He was about to say so when something made him pause. "Ma, is there anyone else on the line?" "I don't think so." James was sure he heard it, though. The short, gasping sound of someone trying to hold their breath and failing. A cold feeling crept across the back of his neck. You're sure nobody is listening on your other phone? there's no other phone. I'm on the cell. That's why the service is so bad. Then what is... James thought. The sound wasn't coming from her end. Then... He dropped the phone and raced to the hall. Extinction hung on its hook, undisturbed. Heart pounding, he hurtled into the garage. The spare phone sat on the workbench. No one in sight. But could they have been? Could someone have been here all along, listening to his phone call, and then slithered away? Might they even be here now? The next day he took out the extra phone extensions. He even filled in the jacks with rubber cement. Daniel watched him work, eyes curious, but James offered no explanation. He began giving Daniel a light physical exam every week. His CNA training was a little rusty after a year on disability, but you never really forget. It was an absurd thing to do, of course, even if there was a physical cause for Daniel's behavior. It would be nothing he could discover this way. And he was aware on some level that it was compulsive behavior. Nevertheless, it made him feel better. One morning, James set the diaphragm of a stethoscope against Daniel's chest, but he could not locate a heartbeat. He moved his hand in search of the right spot, to no avail. Then, to test it, he listened to his own heartbeat. It came through steady and clear. But when he checked Daniel again, he didn't hear anything. A thought came unbidden to him of the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz, whose chest was as empty as a kettle. A sick feeling rolled to his stomach. He threw the stethoscope down and grabbed Daniel by the shoulders, looking into his face. Daniel stared back with bright eyes. He even smiled a little, the corners of his mouth. James felt the tingle of tears. He swept his son up in his arms and hugged him, and Daniel hugged back. Then James put his shirt back on and sent him to play. The stethoscope, he decided, was broken. He threw it in the trash. Things got worse. James's terrors were no longer relegated to the long hours of the night. Now it seemed some creeping, some skittering, and some scuttling, some unknowable noise in some dark corner or another, filled every second of his day. The thought of how big the house really was started to weigh on him. There were so many rooms he wasn't in at any given time, so many places someone or something else could be. He imagined strange figures occupying the rest of his home when he wasn't around, melting into the walls or merging with the shadows whenever he turned on a light or opened a door. How would he know if they were there? How would he ever know? One night, he found himself creeping around the house with no lights on at 2 a.m. If the intruding thing had taken to violating his daytime activities, then he would get revenge by confronting it on its own terms. The night. And really, it was no more frightening to him now than day. They were almost interchangeable. He padded barefoot down the halls, up the stairs, in and out of disused rooms. Sometimes he stopped to listen, hoping to locate it by sound. It was a stealthy, creeping thing, he knew, but it was awkward at times, and it couldn't always keep its strangely shaped limbs from making their distinct, irregular footsteps. The smallest noise would give it away. There was one room he suspected spent most of his time in. The spare bedroom. Not a bedroom at all, really. more like a closet, just enough to accommodate a bed, if one were so inclined. It was unpainted and uncarpeted and drafty. He'd always meant to fix it up. He didn't come in here very often, because he disliked the bare, unused look of it. It made him think of a particularly dissected corpse. He came in now, though. If the thing made its nest any one place in the house, this would be it. Of course, there was nothing there now. But that didn't mean there was nothing there. He cursed, running a hand through sweaty, damp hair. What was he missing? How did it hide from him? What was its secret? He peered into the room's empty corners, one by one, getting his face a few inches from the plaster and floorboards, so that he was certain that there was no space for it to conceal itself. The light bulb flickered. He froze. My God, he thought, it's on the ceiling. He pictured it crawling above him like a huge pale lizard. That's how it gets around, he thought. That's how it escapes any time I should have it cornered. It just scuttles off the wall and hides right over my head. He imagined it dangling down behind him like a spider. If I turn around, he thought, it'll be there, hanging its face right next to mine. He held his breath. He did not want to turn around, but he had no choice. It was between him and the door. With a quiet sob, he rounded on his heels. Of course, he was alone. There was no man on the ceiling. He checked twice. Maybe it crawled out and was waiting for him in the hall. But when he checked there, the ghost was once again clear. Should have been a relief, but it was not. After all, it had to be in here somewhere. If the ceiling was not its trick, that just meant it was something else, something even more strange, even more clever. He went to Daniel's room. He had not stopped checking on him at night, like he always had. This time, though, rather than open the door, he listened at it first, pressing his ear against the grain of the cheap wood, and holding his breath, terrified that he would hear a skittering sound on the other side of the barrier. What he heard and said shocked him more. Daniel was talking to someone. James recoiled for a second, and then, when he caught his breath, he all but kicked the door in. Daniel was already awake, indeed, sitting up in bed, but he's not saying anything now. The light flashed on, and James stalked halfway into the room before stopping. Suddenly torn. What did he want more? To confirm that his son could speak again? To find whomever he was speaking to? The creak of the door hinge settled the matter for him. He ran to the closet and threw it open. There was nothing inside, or at least nothing that shouldn't be there. He swept aside clothes on their hangers, but nothing was hiding between them. Then he dragged the toy box out and emptied it onto the floor. Nothing. Combed along the bare walls and floor, and yes, the ceiling, pushing aside every last bit of rubbish and stray knick-knack, so that he could be sure, absolutely sure, that nothing was hiding. All the while, Daniel watched him. After a few minutes, James was panting and covered in sweat. The closet was bare. There was neither intruders nor answers inside. It struck him as funny somehow, and he started to laugh, very quietly. He kicked his son's toys out of the way so he went to sit down on the bed, dazed. He became aware all at once of several things. First being that he had not slept in days and was nowhere near right in his mind. The second was how close he'd come to really losing it for good. Tomorrow, he's decided, they would both sleep until the afternoon, and when they did wake up, and Daniel would get out of the squeaky old house. No more staying cooped up like prisoners, and no more checkups, no more dreams about monsters. He would even take the bars off the windows. It was time to get back to living like real people again. It was time to... James saw it when he brushed a hand through Daniel's hair. He pulled Daniel a little too roughly closer. His son acquiesced to the examination without fidgeting or complaint as James pawed the side of his head, hoping that what he was seeing would somehow stop being apparent. He stared and stared until he ached from not blinking. There was no denying what was right in front of his eyes. Daniel was missing an ear. No, he realized, with mounting nausea in both ears. There was no injury, no incision, no mark where they should have been. Simply smooth, blank flesh. As blank as Daniel's quiet, unperturbed demeanor. James swept him up in his arms and ran into the hall. He was not sure where he was going or what he meant to do when he got there. He just knew that there was now nothing more important to him than getting his son out of that house. But their path was cut off. A naked man sat in the hallway with his back to them. No, not a man. James recognized its stretched limbs and stooped shoulders. The pale thing squatted on its haunches, rocking back and forth like it was palsied. It almost seemed to be in pain. James hugged his son closer and backed away. Then he heard Daniel's voice. "Daddy." James turned to Daniel and he heard a voice again. "Daddy." But Daniel's lips hadn't moved. James looked back at the hunched figure. Its head jerked when it talked, like a dick. "Hello, Daddy." James's mouth went dry. It took several tries before he could speak. "Don't call me that." "It is this voice's name for you. Go away, leave my family alone." "But I am your family." The longer it talked, the more the voice became distorted and blurred. An icy feeling nestled in James's stomach. "Who are you?" "Someone who came to visit." "Why here?" "You invited me." James's heart thudded against the inside of his chest. "Why?" "I had something you wanted." James licked his lips dry. "You're lying. You don't have anything I want. I want you to leave. Leave and never come back." "Who is Daniel's mother?" James blinked. "What? Who is Daniel's mother?" What the hell kind of question is that? "How old is Daniel?" James blinked again. The voice caused pinching pain in the center of his forehead. "Stop asking me these things." "When is Daniel's birthday?" "I don't know." "What is his middle name?" "Shut up." "What was his first word?" I said, shut up. James wanted to tear the thing apart with his bare hands. Only the heaviness of Daniel in his arms kept him where he was. "You were alone. You wanted a son. So I made one for you." James's hands began to shake. That doesn't make sense. Made out of what? "Out of myself." James's stomach turned over. "But now I need those parts back." Daniel picked at James's shoulder to get his attention. Something was strange about Daniel's face. "Danny, open your eyes." Daniel scrunched his eyes tighter. "Open your eyes. Danny? Danny, open your eyes. Open your eyes." Daniel Daniel shook his head, trying to refuse, but he couldn't hold it forever. Eventually his eyelids flicked up, and James saw the truth. Daniel's eyes were gone.
Oh no.
James almost dropped him. For a second he wanted to throw his son, so that he could stop looking into those empty holes in his face. Daniel opened his mouth as if to speak, but of course he had no voice. He is coming back to be part of me again. No, 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 no. Give him back. Give him back. I cannot. It has been too long. I warned you. This would happen. You're lying. You're lying. You're a fucking liar. Give me my son back. Give him back. I do not lie. I warned you. You could not exist forever. But you do not remember. You can only remember what I want you to. You forget all the times we have talked. Daniel felt like a doll or an empty bag. His hair was falling out, disappearing before it touched the ground. His hands vanished into his sleeves, and his feet rolled up inside his pant cuffs. James cradled the tiny, shapeless thing, tears streaming down his face. Soon he held a pile of empty clothes, and then those too were gone. He looked around the house. Toys disappeared. Photos vanished from their frames. Daniel's little shoes were no longer by the door. James turned toward Daniel's room and confronted a wall where the door should be. He groped the blank surface, fingertips scrambling. He hit his head against the wall. The pain didn't feel real. Why do you do this? It was what you wanted, and I learned so much. This isn't possible. People ask, people wonder. The police, the hospitals, the people in my neighborhood. They have already forgotten him. They only remembered what I wanted them to. Like you. James pressed his hand to his aching skull. Will I at least remember him after this? You can try, but your mind will fail you now that everything he was is part of me again. James sat on the floor looking at the blank wall. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw the thing creep toward him and even felt its wet hand on his shoulder. But he did not look at it. If I won't remember any of this, then why tell me? Because a father should know. And then James was alone. Abigail worried about James sometimes. When they met a year ago, he said that he'd never been married and he'd never had kids, but there was a certain pained expression he assumed when he said that last part. Abigail knew that look. She'd known parents who lost children before. You learned to recognize it. And there were other things about him that worried her too. Sometimes she would find him staring at a particular spot on the wall. Brow furrowed in concentration. He did not seem to realize he was doing it. And of course, there was the insomnia and the sleepwalking to consider too. Yes, there was lots to worry about, but she loved him all the same. James still said he'd never had kids, and neither had she. She'd long wanted one, but it was impossible. And she worried that James wouldn't stay with a woman who couldn't be a mother, though he constantly assured her that it was not so. There were times, and more often, of late, they were the nights when James took to sleepwalking, and even Abigail imagined that she heard strange, scuttling noises in the house, and saw impossible shapes in dark corners. When she thought she would do anything, absolutely anything, if it meant having a little daughter for she and James to raise. And at those moments, she became truly afraid, but she never knew why. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you soon.
Shit was pretty boring, not gonna lie.
Wait, is it on a different website?
Jacob or chicken? We'll talk dirty.
Jacob loves these peace nuts.
My eyes are fucking heavy right now.
Dude, wake me up at like before 9.
I mean, how far can it be a ticket?
Can you take my sweater off?
Bro, it's really bad. It's at least $75.
No, $80. I already got one.
Same shit.
I got one with a chicken.
Same
Don't
shit.
hurt it.
Being I got a ticket, dude. Last weekend, we got a ticket. Yeah, so it's for $80.
Good 3 hour stream.